check. 1 2 1 2. We live, baby. Come on. That's right. Okay. Can you hear me now? Oh, let's go. It's your boy Big Chew, the voice of the beat.
You know what I won't
blaze up.
Come on, blaze up.
It's the beat for me.
Wow, 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 for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Drop it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Do it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Come on, baby, we are. For your boy. For your boy. Hustle for your boy. Fix it for your boy. Drop it for your, lift it up. Then it bust it open, lift it up. Yeah, come on, lift it up. Then it bust it open for your B-O-Y. Then it for your rockin' for your lift it up, baby. Mix it with your bossa now.
Come on, blaze up. You know.
Drop me a nasty beat.
My bad. My bad. How y'all doing? Happy Educational Friday. I hope you guys are doing well. Sorry about that. Y'all know I always start the video off with my phone on mute. Oh Lord, my hair all over my head. My bad, y'all. Y'all know I always start the video off on mute, y'all. Every time I come on, if I'm on mute, just give it 5 seconds. Give it 5 seconds. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get situated. But how y'all doing? How are you doing? I hope you guys are doing wonderful today. I hope everything is going well. Today, I wanted to kind of touch on some earlier historic things because number one, me and Miss Parker was talking about it, and she was like, "Can you start talking about, like what happened at the very, very beginning?" Because most people don't know. What we know is what we were taught in school, which was that the Pilgrims came over, made friends with the Indians, and after they made friends with the Indians, they ended up popping them upside the head and giving them smallpox. You know what I'm saying? That's all I remember. I don't know about you guys. They spoke about Christopher Colombo. They spoke about, and then these were brief mentions, by the way. They spoke about Christopher Columbus. Who else they told us about? Some presidents. It was very vague. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't much, it wasn't much there to really learn for real. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I wanted to go back. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to go back because somewhere somebody is hiding a lot of things and somebody is lying. Now, this here is something that affects obviously America, North America, South America, all of the Caribbean. It affects us all because we were all girl, what's wrong with my ear? We were all affected by these colonizers who came here. We didn't go there. They didn't come get us from another place. They came here. Now, I showed you guys about the intra-American slave trade, which was trading between South America, North America, the Caribbean. We talked about that. So that is already documented, which makes sense. Shorter doggone routes, and also not only shorter routes, there were also it was easier to navigate the Mississippi and maybe the Gulf versus the Atlantic Ocean. Does that make sense? Okay. Who got a birthday? Who got a birthday, girl? Oh, that was that super chat. Hold on. Thank you, Pretty and Well, for the super chat. Hey, boo, happy Educational Friday. It's my birthday. Can you say anyone who hates Geminis need to go to prison? Okay. Geminis, I guess it's the bully side of y'all. Anybody who hates Geminis should go to prison. Especially the Geminis on this chat. Now, I don't know about all the other Geminis. I can't speak for all of them. I'm just talking about the ones that be at the dollhouse and over here. I don't know about all the rest of them, but it is a birthday, so let's get into it, okay? Happy birthday to Pretty and Well. I hope you have many more. Let's get this birthday off proper. It's Friday, girl. I'll have a drink for me. And thank you for the super chat. You shouldn't have to super chat me on your birthday. Thank you, Fat. Let's get the happy birthdays going.
Happy birthday.
So happy birthday, Thursday, Jordan. I didn't realize it was your birthday too. Happy birthday, Thursday. Is that your, I ain't gonna ask you if that's your real name, but if it is, that's cute. Happy birthday, Thursday. Happy birthday, pretty and well. I hope y'all have a beautiful day today. I know it's pretty outside in Georgia. I don't know how it look where y'all from. If you're living up there in the mountains, top of the morning to you, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm saying? But happy birthday, Thursday, Jordan. Happy birthday, pretty and well. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. I swear. And 50 million more birthdays if that's what you want. I don't want that many more. Once I can't get up and wipe my own arse, go ahead and tap me on the 3 shoulders. Once it get to a part where I'm laid up in the bed somewhere and I can't do nothing, just go ahead on, tell the Most High, give me the 3 taps. I'm ready to tap out anyway. You know what I'm saying? But for everybody else, if you want to live forever, I hope you have as many birthdays as you want. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for being here. Y'all, please like the video if you haven't already. I would surely appreciate it if you like the video. That would be amazing. Okay. So anyways, I wanted to kind of go back and see what was going on. Like what first of all, what was the motivation for these clear people to come over here to Turtle Island and then invade and rape and pillage and all those other things? Now, some of you may not understand what Turtle Island is. So what I did do, girl, I'll be running behind. What I did do was I did go and get some photos to show. Oh, I want to show y'all something else too. I want to show y'all something else. Hold on. Let me send y'all this. Let me send this to myself. Hold on. I'm about to send something. Hold on. I want to send. Yeah, I was more or less like, what was like, why did they come over here messing with us? What did we do to them? You know what I'm saying? And I had to do some research, and in that research, I found some things, right? And it makes sense. It makes all the sense in the world. First and foremost, the first reason that they came over here was for greed. Some wanted gold. Some wanted, you know what I mean? All type of other things. Some wanted to come over here. Most wanted to come over here and push Christianity, even though some were leaving a place where they could not practice religious freedoms. Yet and still, when them people got down here, they said, I didn't say it, but they said that them people was over here telling the people, if y'all don't convert to Christianity, you either gonna be unalived or enslaved. Well, mostly unalived, and the ones who complied went to slavery anyway. So I want to show you guys something. Oh, let me move this tab over here. I want to show you guys something really quickly. So let's start with Turtle Island. That Turtle Island was the name of America or the United States, you know, with Canada and all that, prior to them people getting down here. Okay. But before we get into Turtle Island, remember y'all, if y'all been listening to me, I'm going to share my screen. So if you guys have been listening to me, Let me share my screen so you can see it. This is off the record, and I got a whole nother thing, a video I'm gonna do with this. But listen, if you guys have been listening to me, I tell you guys all the time, as I did my research on my mother's side of the family. This is my mother's, all of them on the female side, the women's side of the family. I have told y'all that I am descendant of the Suma Indian tribe, Suma Indian. Now, listening to my great aunt, who's in her 70s, she told me that my great grandfather, three greats, that's three going back. My third great grandfather was enslaved in Mississippi, but at 11 years old, he was able to escape. Him and three other adult men. He was 11. Three other adult men, they escaped and they went to Texas. He stayed in Texas all the time until he was in his like grown men age, 30s, 40s, and he came back with a family. He had two children. One name they called Aunt Suma and one named India. Okay, so it was Aunt Suma and Aunt India. The reason he named his children that was because he wanted to keep the information that we are of Suma Indian tribe. Are you tracking? So we got Aunt Suma and we got Aunt India. That was his two daughters. Okay, so I said, well, dang, he went to Texas. This is me, right? I was like, he went to Texas. I know a lot of the Indians up in Texas before the conquistadors came over here and they were speaking Spanish and the Spaniards. I said, a lot of the Texas people was going back and forth through Mexico, as they still do in 2024. Still to this day, they go back and forth between Texas and Mexico. It's illegal now because you got to have a passport, but still it happens. So I said, I wonder if the Suma Indian tribe has anything to do with Mexico. And as sure as I got a nose on my face, whoa, yes, it was. Here is a map. I'm going to blow this up. This is a map of indigenous names and tribes in Mexico. This is prior to the 1700s. And look what I found. The Suma tribe. Can y'all see that? Y'all see that Suma tribe up there, up above? What is it? La Junta? Do y'all see that? Girl, do you know, I was literally like, oh my God. Like, listen, this genealogy thing will blow you. If you've ever had any wondering of who you are and it bothered you at any given point, I'm telling you, genealogy is like it's like drinking cold water after a hot day. I swear to God, it's so refreshing. Thank you, Author Empress, for the super chat. I love you, Voodoo, my Modstat sisters, all my Acorn brothers and sisters, and our first cousins. Yes, ma'am. Love you more. Love you more. But I am a descendant. Thank you again, Author Empress. I am a descendant of the Suma tribe, which originated in what is now present-day Mexico. Mind you, this tribe is indigenous to that land prior to the conquistadors. So they wasn't speaking no Espanol. You know what I'm saying? So it's so crazy because I kept asking where my third great grandmother came from. I was like, well, where did she come from? And they was like, well, we don't know. We got to pull up the stuff. Da, 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 da. And now I have a way to go back and figure out, you know, her side further as far as her origin. Because you got to think about it like this. People in America, the indigenous Aboriginal people only navigated lands that they were accustomed to. So at 11 years old, this young boy, along with three grown men, decided to go back to Texas. And my first thing that came to my mind was, I was like, oh, Texas must have been familiar territory to them. Also, my aunt told me that Texas was a place where they couldn't capture slaves and bring them back. Like they had different laws for slaves out there in Texas. So with that being said, I said that they would only go back somewhere that they know. They wouldn't just run, you know how in the slave movies, they'd be like, oh, they just ran in the woods. They don't run aimlessly in these woods. These people know how to navigate these woods because they are aboriginal from or of the land. You see what I'm saying? So I'm so glad I thought about it like that. And then I went to go doing the research and it showing stuff. I have indigenous roots to the landmass that is now Mexico. So that was just something I just wanted to show y'all. Now, another thing I want to show you guys was the map of Turtle Island. Hold on, let me get Turtle Island up here. So before the conquistadors got here, amongst the other Europeans, the landmass was called Turtle Island. Here's a map of America I want to show you guys, right? Hold on. All right. So here is a map of America that we are used to, right? So this is what they would call Turtle Island. Now, at first glance, when I first heard about Turtle Island, I was just like, I don't see no turtle. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, I'm holding my head sideways, and I was like, I don't know. But listen, not only was it shaped like a turtle, and that's the reason why it is a legend that that's what the people of the time period called it, because like a turtle shell, it can repair itself. Also, there was other folklore that went along with it. It was a land that was very rich. The turtle is one of the oldest animals that's around. So it was a land that was always able to repair itself. Remember, I told y'all too. I said, y'all see it? I ain't see it. I'm gonna show y'all a picture of the turtle. But remember, I told y'all too. This is the age of Aquarius, and the Earth is repairing itself. I keep saying that. I was like, the Earth is repairing itself. The Earth is repairing itself. You haven't missed much, Denisha. We just got in. I don't see it, but I'm about to show y'all. I know I'm like you, B-Dub. I guess you know they say it's that brain thing, that brain theory. That brain theory. You know, people see things differently according to how their brains operate. But how did they know how it looked from above? That's amazing. You know what, but a mere mortal? What people don't understand is the technology that they had back then surpasses the technology we have now. The things that they were able to uncover and keep a secret. Oh yeah, the technology we had back then surpasses the technology. Now I don't know. I'm not saying they got into a spaceship. I don't know. But what I am saying is we've been lied to. This is what I'm saying. Everything that they ever told us and taught us, basically, it goes down like this.
It was all a lie. Guys, it was all a lie. She lied.
And these are the Fendi facts. You know what I'm saying? These are the Fendi facts. Thank you, It's Bree to you for the super chat. She says, hey, Voodoo, my family is Suma tribe. I'm a historian of my family. Fourth great grandma was Suma. Oh, snap. What part, girl? It's Bree to you. You might be my cousin, girl. You might be my cousin. What's up, cuz? Oh, cousin. That's how we say it in New Orleans. Cousin. Oh, cousin. What's up, cousin? Cousin. What's up? You know what I'm saying, girl? We might be kin, girl. Come on down to the family reunion, girl. That's crazy, though. But you see how you see, you know what I'm saying? You meet people and you see, girl. Cousin, what's up, cuz? What's going on, cousin? Thank you for the super chat, girl. We might be for real, though. I know, Cap. We really might be kin. We really may have some relation, even if it's not, direct relation. We really might have some relation. I'm in South Carolina and my family is from Lower Georgia and South Carolina. Okay. That makes sense. Girl, we might have to talk offline, child. All right. So this is Turtle Island. Let me show y'all a picture of the actual turtle now. Hold on. There you go. Now, if you look at the way that the United States was, this is what they're saying. Close your eyes. Not close your eyes. You got to open them. You got to keep them open to see this. This right here would be California. I had to see the turtle and study the turtle to see exactly what the hell was going on, okay? See this side right here? Think about California, right? See this down here? Think about Mexico, right? See this right here? Think about Florida. Are y'all tracking? Where is this going? See this up here? Think about Canada. You see what I'm saying? So that's why they said, I didn't say it, but they said they called it Turtle Island. Let me see what this arm is. Hold on. Because I had to study this because like I said, my brain don't operate like that. It really don't. I guess that would be, what's this up here? What's this area? Let me see if do I have another map on here? I can't remember. Who knows what part that is? You see it now, huh? That's crazy, ain't it? Alaska. Okay, gotcha. Y'all know I'm not into geography. That will be Alaska. Yep, that's Alaska. So remember, California, Mexico, Alaska, Canada, Florida, and what would this be? Hold on, let me go back and check the map, child. What's over here? What's all of this? Whatever all of this is up here, ain't this up there by New Hampshire and all of that? You know what I'm saying? So that's why they called it Turtle Island. And the way the landmass was laid out, it gave the turtle the shell of a turtle. Does that make sense? And you know what's crazy, Yvonne? Yvonne said Alaska weather clear. That's Maine. Okay, yeah. Okay, so that would be Maine. Thank you. Alaska. Yvonne said that's where the clear Eskimos are. But we remember last week. We looked at that documentary from Bill Cosby, and he said that the first black Eskimo was found up there. Y'all remember that last week? I'm telling you, girl, they done colonized everywhere, girl. They took over everything. They done took everything, girl. They done colonized everywhere. If you ask me, I believe one of them doggone them Eskimos that's up there, part of them Native Americans that came up through here. I believe that some of them kept going. You feel what I'm saying? I believe it. I don't care. I believe it. Now, I don't know which direction they came from per the map. But you know what I mean? I believe that some of them stopped and some of them kept going because they all look alike when you think about it. Right, Gigi? They replaced everything. Yes, they replaced everything. I was able to trace back from a site my family owns in South Carolina in Lawrence. We have land and grave sites here. You know what's crazy is, Bree, to you, I haven't even gotten into the websites part. I'm just tracing my stuff back through the grave sites that we have. This is just through the grave sites. I hadn't even went to the genealogy online yet. So I already know once I get these ducks in the row and figure these folk out, that by the time I get to that genealogy, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be ridiculous. Do you hear me? Hi, Amy. So y'all, I don't want to be too long on this. So look, that's why they called it Turtle Island. Now, where was I going with this? Let me see. Do I have any other picture on here to show y'all? Oh, if you were ever needing a map to see what the tribes were in so-called America, if you look down here, who from Florida? The southern region was Seminole, but up at the top, you got Choctaw Creek. All of that's Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, Creek, Chickasaw, Natchez, up top, Louisiana. And there are maps that are more detailed than this. Did I send these to me? Hold on. Like this one, but this is hard to see. Let me make it bigger, child. All right. Let me see. Will it let me? All right. If you look down here, can y'all see that any good? Can y'all see this any good? The writing is super small. So Where I get the maps, girl, Google. But you got to know how to Google it. Copper Rose to Aries. See, you listen. The algorithm is trained to give you what the government wants you to see. I got it from the Google, but you got to. It took me a while to find them how I needed to find them. Okay, let's just say that. But look, you got Muskogee all up here through this what Georgia, Muskogee, Choctaw. Is that what I'm looking at? I can't see. What else we got up in here? They got Mississippi. Well, no, they look like the river. Where y'all from? We about to see. No, you can't see my map. Damn. I'm gonna post it. How about that? I'm gonna post it on my community tab. I'll post that on my community tab. North Carolina. Now, y'all know good and well. I don't know nothing about no geography. Ain't North Carolina somewhere around up in here? Because look, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida. Oh, no. Ain't that South Carolina right here? Ain't that South Carolina out here? Right here? Because if so, I'm looking at... I can't look at it on here. If that's South Carolina right here, I'm about to blow it up on my phone. Then we're talking about the... Oh, I can't even hardly see this shit. Oh, girl, you done made it worse. Bring it, blow it back up, Vu. I can't pronounce it. But they got a whole bunch over there. At the bottom, they got Seminoles in Florida. Didn't it look like Cronky or Crunker? I can't. Let's just go to the other map. But even though it doesn't have as much detail, at least we'll be able to see it better. Let's go to this other map, this one. All right. So I guess if you're from the South Carolina region, it looks like Catawar, Powhatan, a bunch of Cherokee up here in this area. Yo, people from Oklahoma, girl, we gonna have to find a. They're gonna have to put the states with the, because girl, I don't know. Mississippi, you probably Natchez. Sula, Mississippi, that's probably around. And again, there were smaller tribes in these areas. So please don't take these names that you see here and just, but it gives you a starting point. That's all I'm trying to do. You see what I'm saying? But again, I'll post these maps to my community tab for y'all. Shoshone, okay. I'll post Shoshone. Is that how you say it? I'll post these maps in my community tab, and we might do another live where we just discuss the maps. Okay? Because I don't want to get too winded on this. Because I want to get into some of the stuff. You need this map? I'm gonna post it for y'all. I'm gonna post both of the maps. Matter of fact, I think I got 3 on here. And remember, depending on where you're from, listen, if you live up north, and I call up north anything over Tennessee. So that's when I say up north, I mean anything over Tennessee, Virginia. Really Virginia for this situation. If you have family or if you live up north, think about who, because all y'all got somebody from the South. Every single one of y'all know somebody or got family that came from the South. Now, some of y'all in New York, Boston, all of them areas, a lot of y'all were indigenous to that land. But see, like I told y'all before, the government was very, very tricky. They put a lot of the Caribbean people in, and then they turned around and mixed the doggone the clear people in to literally dilute the lineage and the bloodline in those areas. I'm talking New York, Boston, that the Dutch, they did that. So, and I'm not saying everybody. So some people didn't get, you know what I'm saying? That diluted, but it was done on purpose up in those areas to put all those foreigners in there. First they started with the Caribbean people, just to dilute the bloodline, and then they threw the clear people in there, which some of the clear people was already there. So this is going to give y'all a starting point. And like I said, we'll do a live where we'll just try to figure this stuff out. What? I made Jesus / God again. You met him? I'm an African American woman, and my son's father is Dominican and came straight out of black long hair and never had heartburn, and he doesn't tan. Are you clear? Perk Connect, are you clear? No, she said I'm an African American woman, and my son's father is Dominican. Is he clear? I'm confused. Is that what you're trying to say? One of y'all clear? I don't quite understand this comment. Came out straight, long black hair. I'm in confusion too, B-Dub. I ain't gonna lie, I'm in confusion. But yeah, I'm gonna print them up on my wall as soon as we get off of live. Again, I'm only showing you guys maps of the Americas to my Caribbean people, if you would like. To my Caribbean first cousins, my South Americans, my Brazilians. If you would like, what I can do is go try to find the maps of the indigenous tribes that were there. And then I can go from there and just to give you guys a starting point. You know what I mean? Because those were indigenous peoples of that land too, to our cousins. I can go try to find it. I see everything that I've ever done kind of is centered around America, but it's fine. I want us all to be straight. So what I'll do is, cousins, I'll go try to look for y'all maps too, all of them islands, because I need to find out my daughter's Honduran indigenous peoples. Cause she don't be asking, girl. And I keep telling her to ask and asking. Her daddy act like he crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I need to be looking for Honduras indigenous people as well. So with that being said, and you know what? I'm just thinking about that comment where the lady said, I'm African American and her husband Dominican and the baby got coal black hair. Well, hell, I'm so-called African American and my ex-husband is Honduran and my baby had nappy as the day is long. I used to be saying tougher than Nigerian hair. Happy to be nappy though, but I'm just saying, you know, it's kind of coarse. It's very rough. Don't tell her I said that, y'all. That's my baby. I love her to death. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Meek with the brown eyes, for the super chat. Thank you for always providing knowledge. Love that for us. Acorn. Oh my God. Thank you so much. Thank you, Meek with the brown eyes. I love you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. You guys are so generous. Thank y'all. We got to get into it. Thank y'all. But look, yeah, the Honduras do know they culture so well. But my baby daddy, my ex-husband, I call him my baby daddy. Girl, he just get on my nerves. I be telling you, I be saying, why are you even Hispanic? You know, why you even, you're a waste of whatever it is y'all supposed to be. You feel me? You ask this nigga, I don't know. How you don't know? Mama get to speaking that Spanish. And I be saying, she talking about me? I don't know. Now, this not now. This is back then. What she said, I don't know. Well, what can you say? I don't know. You're a damn lie. Because when she get to hiding that shit, you be moving like you know what she talking about. You know what I mean? Y'all know them type of niggas. You know what I'm saying? This is like, why is you even, you know? Just a waste, child. You got the same kind of baby daddy, Kimberly, girl. It's a shame. It is a shame. Thank you for the super chat, Keisha Paul. She says, how do I become a member? Oh, you gotta click the dollar sign at the bottom. Or from an Android or desktop. I heard the iPhones is giving them problems. It's giving them problems. Child, it sounds like my family. I'm trying to do our genealogy. Ain't no help. You know what? The other people in my family who got genealogy, a lot of them have word of mouth. And it's my cousin who helps me with matter of fact, my cousin Kitty, who be on my lives, her husband. It's her husband. That's Kitty and I are related by marriage. She's married to my cousin. And he's the other historian, and he be sending me some stuff too. He got a lot of oral history on the family, but I'm trying to go like the documentation route. You know what I mean? So yeah. let's get into it. Let's get into these people, y'all. So the question I always asked was, why did they come over here messing with us? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is going on? Thank you, Marilyn. Young, for the super chat. She says, I love your your genuineness, Voodoo. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. So you guys, where was I going with this? I was saying, why did they come over here messing with us? That's something I've always wanted to know, and I was never able to get clarity on. Well, after my research, what I found is they came over for many reasons. One, when you go to Spain, let's go pull it up. When you go over to Spain and say, well, Spain, why did y'all come over here messing with us? I'm trying to make this a little interesting for y'all, right? So I went in a time machine in the back of my head, and I said, Spain, why did y'all come over here messing with us? What, you know what I mean? Like, what did y'all want? And they answered me, and they said, let me pull up the article. This is a .org site, even though those listen, in college I was taught .org, .edu, all those type of sites were sure and true, but now, girl, in today's society, you don't know what the hell. You have no idea. You don't know. They lying on everything. I'm just telling you that now. But according to this source, right? So I was like, yeah, why is y'all coming over? Why y'all come over here? We ain't did y'all nothing. We around here chilling, trading, ain't talking about nothing, Why did y'all come over here? All right. And the biggest thing was Christianity. Remember, I told you guys that my family fought off, his name was Robert Curtis Jr. Jr. His name was Robert Curtis Jr., son of Robert Curtis Sr. Sr. was a pastor. And Junior, they came from South Carolina too. And Junior came down here to Mississippi trying to doggone preach. And the Spaniards ran him up out of there. And then he went back and got his doggone license over, not license, what they call it? Ordained and all that. Then he come on back. Now, this is after the wars. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, religion was the first thing. And when they came over there, they said this, and they said only this. They said, hey, you either conform and bow to my God, to Jesus, or you die. The ones who was like, I'd rather die, they did. They slaughtered them like crazy. And the ones who conformed went into slavery. Period, point blank. You know what I'm saying? But religion is the main thing that they wanted when they came over here. So let's get into it. Hold on. Motivation for European conquest of the New World. All right. In this overview, it says historians generally recognize three motives for European exploration and colonization in the New World: God, gold, and glory. That's the three things that they're saying in this article: God, gold, and glory. That's one of the three reasons, as far as a brief synopsis, right? Religious motivations can be traced all the way back to the Crusades, the series of religious wars between the 11th and 15th centuries. During the European Christians sought to claim Jerusalem as an exclusively Christian space. Pause. Remember, when you count centuries, if it's the 11th century, that means 1000 BCE, or 1000, I'm sorry, AD. If you say the 15th century, that's the 1400s. Does that make sense? So the motivation for religion, they said, dated back all the way to the Crusades, right? And they had a whole bunch of religious wars between the 11th and 15th century. Now, it also says Europeans also searched for optimal trade routes to lucrative Asian markets and hope to gain global recognition for their country. Now, you got to think about the countries that's in on this. You got Spain, France, the Dutch, Great Britain, I'm sorry. You got a whole bunch of people who are rulers. And this is one thing that we never was able to conquest or get. And I understand why, because I understand the nature of who we were before the people got here. They were sworn enemies to each other, but they worked together for the greater good, which was to colonize this Turtle Island. Okay? Whereas here, we were here doing our thing, but we had tribal wars all the time. And we rep our sets like crazy. It's no different from right now. You get a nigga from New York, the nigga gonna say, BX, nigga, what's up? Or even inside of New York, you get one nigga say, BX, nigga, what's up? And ready to bang. Or you get somebody on the flip side hollering, nigga, it's the boogie down Bronx. I don't know if they be saying that, but you know what I mean? And it's the same thing. Niggas from, you remember the East Coast, West Coast beef? That has always been our culture. Although we are melanated, we kind of like had our own beefs inside internally, and we did our own thing, but we've never been able to come upon one accord. And honestly, I believe, this is just me, I believe that we will never, I believe we'll never be able to truly get on one accord. I don't think it is within our nature as a collective, but I could be wrong. I hope that I'm wrong, but I'm just saying, because if you go back through history and you look, we never really been on one accord. Babe, can you give me a water? We never really been on one accord. You know what I mean? But the difference between us and them was they were able to, thank you, baby. They were able to put aside the BS for the greater good. But I hope I'm wrong, y'all. I swear I hope I'm wrong. Anyways, so back to the article. All right, they say Europeans also search for optimal trade routes to lucrative Asian markets and hope to gain global recognition for their country. The Crusades increased religious intolerance and forceful religious conversions. The year 622 brought a new challenge to Christianity. Near Mecca, Saudi Arabia, and a prophet named Muhammad claimed he received a revelation that became a cornerstone of the Islamic faith. The Quran, which contained the revelations received by Muhammad, identified Jesus Christ not as God, but as a prophet. Islam spread throughout the Middle East and into Europe until 732. Now, mind you, if anybody understands regions and the people that live among or that are of the regions, you understand that typically the Middle Eastern people, if they are of the land, are tanned people. They're not clear people. They're tanned people. So this prophet Muhammad, I would assume, would look like, if we're taking the doctrine for what it is, the Muhammad prophet would be of a colored skin, a tanner skin. So, but when you look at everything that they show us today, everything is whitewashed. Everything is clear. Everybody's clear. Everywhere you go, clear. It's crazy. It says soon thereafter, European Christians began the Crusades, a campaign of violence against Muslims to dominate the Holy Lands. This is all about lands. That's what it's always been about, even today. To dominate the Holy Lands, an area that extended from modern-day Turkey in the north along the Mediterranean coast to the Sinai Peninsula under Islamic control, partially in response to sustained Muslims controlled in Europe. The city of Jerusalem is a holy site for Jews, Christians, and Muslims. Evidence exists that the three religions lived there in harmony for centuries. But in 1095, European Christians decided not only to reclaim the holy city from Muslim rulers, but also conquer the entire surrounding area. It's always been about land. And they're using this Christian doctrine to push through to come get the land. The Crusades provided the religious ideology for the Reconquista, which in turn inspired Atlantic colonization. The Reconquista, why I can't say that? The Reconquista or Conquista or Reconquest refers to the 800 years of violence and expulsion of Muslims from the Iberian Peninsula after the failed Crusades. The Crusades and the Reconquista cemented religious intolerance and the Christians looked to colonization partly as a means of continuing religious conquest. Partly in the strong Catholic nations of Spain and Portugal, religious zeal motivated the rulers to convert Native Americans and sanctify Christian global dominance. Now, let me say this. See this Native American term right here? They mean the copper color indigenous. I keep telling y'all, they putting together that Native American thing and getting rid of the Aboriginal people. No. They mean the indigenous, the Aboriginals. But these people were using the religious doctrine, going around the world, making people submit, but all the while the underlying reason was really for the land. That's literally what it was for. So, all right, let's fast forward. Here's a photo. That's violence in Jerusalem. The lure of gold, finding new routes to trade Eastern goods. Despite the consequent religious polarization, the Crusades dramatically increased maritime trade between East and West. As Crusaders experienced the feel of silk, the taste of spices, and the utility of porcelain, desires for the product created new markets for merchants. It's about money and land. Merchant ships brought European valuable goods, traveling between the port cities of Western Europe and the East from the 10th century on along routes collectively labeled the Silk Road. However, transporting goods along the Silk Road was costly, slow, and unprofitable. Muslim middlemen collected taxes as the goods changed hands. Robbers waited to ambush treasure-laden caravans, as well as seeking a water passage to the wealthy sites or cities of the East. Sailors wanted to find a route to the exit. As well as go ahead, get it. Just get it. You got it? You sure? All right. As well as seeking a water passage to wealthy cities of the East, sailors wanted to find a route to the exotic and wealthy Spice Islands in modern-day Indonesia, whose location was kept secret by Muslim rulers. The lure of profit pushed explorers to seek new trade routes to the Spice Islands and to eliminate Muslim middlemen. A thirst for glory. Now we're looking at European competition for global dominance. Competition between the Portuguese and Spanish motivated both nations to colonize quickly and aggressively. Remember, these are your top two, your Portuguese and your Spaniards, right? Spain. Prince Henry the Navigator spearheaded the Portugal's exploration of Africa and the Atlantic in the 1400s. Portuguese sailors successfully navigated an eastward route to West Africa, where they established a trading foothold. Portugal then spread its empire down the west coast of Africa to the Congo, along the western coast of India, and eventually to Brazil and the Atlantic islands. Although Portuguese did not rule over an immense landmass, their strategic holdings of island and coastal ports gave them the almost unrivaled control of the nautical trade routes. Okay, so you got Portuguese and Spain. They in competition to take over the whole world. That's basically where they're going with. The travels of Portuguese traders to West Africa also acquainted the Portuguese with the African slave trade, already widely practiced in West Africa and funded by sugar production on the newly colonized Atlantic islands. Upon discovering the immense global market for sugar, the Portuguese began to trade enslaved peoples across the Atlantic to toil on the sugar plantations. Then it says the Portuguese fort Elmina Castle, located in modern-day Ghana, fake. I was gonna wait till I finish this. Let me wait till I finish the paragraph. The Portuguese fort Elmina Castle, located in modern-day Ghana, became more of a holding pen for enslaved Africans from the interior of the continent than a trading post, as the markets for slave labor in both Europe and then the New World boomed. Let me say this: that castle in Ghana, we've seen it on the movies, we've seen it everywhere. Let me say this: that's cap to an extent. They are trying to say that that's where we were kept and brought over here. But logistic-wise, ship-wise, that's cap. That's cap. And if you think about it, don't all the things connect? Now, this is the Fort Elmina Castle in Ghana, right? In modern-day Ghana. Then they're trying to get us to go back to motherland. And where's back to motherland? Ghana, right now. They're trying to get us back to Africa. Where are the Negroes moving to? Ghana. On top of that, when y'all take the DNA, the 23andMe, the African ancestry, they never place y'all in Ghana. Don't they always place y'all around Nigeria? Don't when the black people, think about anybody who took the test. Don't the black people get placed when they take their 23andMe and their African ancestry? Don't they get placed around Nigeria? So why are we going back to Ghana? And why is the slave port thing in Ghana? Things that make you go, right? Right. That's why I said some of this you got to be able to weed through before you just, you know what I mean, go off into it and just believe it. Even these .org sites aren't really reputable. All right, it says, Portuguese colonization in the 1400s inaugurated an era of aggressive European expansion across the Atlantic. The Spanish, threatened by the Portuguese, monopolized on enslaved Africans and expansion in the Atlantic, starting their own colonization project with Christopher Columbus in 1492. The competition between the two nations continued and drew more and more Europeans to the New World. Let me say this. First of all, they said, I didn't say it, but they said Christopher Columbus was an Italian, but he worked for the Spaniards in Spain. But then they also said that's a lie. He really was from Spain. I don't know what's going on. And they also said he was a Negro, meaning black. They said that he was black, and it would make sense because if you know anything about the black Europeans at the time, I'm still trying to figure out what did they do with the black Europeans that were in Europe? Where are they? And I don't want them to tell me, oh, it's just a little bitty sprinkle. Where's all them black Europeans? Where's all them black Europeans? Thank you, Beautiful Ink, for the super chat. Thank you, Boo, for speaking on this. My family are, I can't pronounce that, Akanichi of the Saponi Nation. I can't pronounce it, but it sounds beautiful. We originated in Virginia, and many were forced into North Carolina. We are still strong in the North Carolina Piedmont area. Oh, that's amazing. That is amazing, Beautiful Ink. And I'm so glad you know who you are and where your people come from. I'm so glad. You sent me a super chat that I missed it. I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm sorry. When I'm reading, I probably didn't see it. Oh, here we go, Butter Brown Sugar. Oseo Vu, thank you for the super chat anyway. Oseo Vu, my grandmother from Waco, Texas, and she always wanted to find her lineage. You got me inspired to start the search. Please start it. Please start it. Please start it. You need to start it. I don't know if your grandmother's still here, but even if she isn't, if she is or she isn't, that's something for you to know so that your kids, because listen, this education system, I don't know where they're going to tell them children we came from next. Next thing you know, they're going to say they got us off another planet. Okay? So, but thank you for the super chat. B-Dub said Bowie had to be black. They were the only people who could navigate. Right, the Moors. Oh, somebody said they're black European. Zaria, you a black European. Where's the rest of all of you Negroes in Europe? Is there a lot of black Europeans out there, Zaria? This is a real question. I'm a black European. My dad line goes back to the Bell Beaker people. Oh, I don't know who that is. Where are the rest of them Negroes out there in Europe, Zaria? Where y'all at? Where y'all? Is it you out there? I'm not. There's a lot. How come we don't never see them? So if I was you, Zaria, and every time somebody related to the Europeans as clear people, I would feel slighted about that. I would really feel slighted about that if I were you, Zaria. Y'all in London and Italy mostly. But this the thing, Zaria. Y'all people was all over that landmass. Y'all should be in more than London and Italy. I know a lot of them in London. I know it's a lot of transplants over there in London too. That's what I'm saying. I was about to say most of Africans and fleeing gangs. Yeah. But I'm talking about the indigenous Black Europeans. The indigenous Black Europeans. That's what I'm talking about. Where are they? Where are the indigenous Negro Spaniards? Where they at? The Black Europeans were under the rule of King James Lames. Yep. They settled the 13 colonies, right? Yep. King James, the Bible man. Yep. They were exiled from Europe. I believe that the Black Europeans were Irish, Scottish, and Wales descent. Let me tell you what I believe. Remember I told y'all this earlier? I told y'all I believe the Black Europeans, the indigenous people, they pushed them in Africa. I told y'all that. I keep telling y'all that. Y'all think I'm playing. Zaria said that's a CD cover. You know them Europeans, they listen to all kinds of music. They don't just listen to they not like us. You know what I'm saying? Them people listen to all kinds of music. Them people listen to rock music, death metal. Them people listen to all kinds of music. Just because that clear woman on her profile looking like she's just a vampire or something. You know what I'm saying? Them people listen to everything. You know? Shout out to Zaria. You know what I'm saying? But thank you for the super chat, Cosmic Sun Souls. The Black Europeans from Europe are the Africans. I said it. Girl, Cosmic, girl. If I was here, I would hug you right now and kiss you. Listen, I said it earlier. I've been saying it all this time. I ain't got no proof. I didn't. But from what I gathered and from some of the research that I got, I was like, what if them Africans is really the original Europeans? I kept saying that. Nah, they ain't from Acorn, B-Dub. They ain't from Acorn. But I kept saying that. And you and me on the same. We are here. We see each other. We see each other. I believe that. I don't care what nobody say. I believe it. See them Africans? They act like them. They act like them. Because mind you, if you believe that Christopher Columbus was a Negro or was Black, right? Let's start come take a walk with me right quick. If you believe that the Moors were of darker skin complexion, right? The Moors were the ones who navigated the sea, right? They were the seafarers. They were the people who went all over the world. They practiced trade. You going? All right. They practiced trade. You smell good. What you put on? Who you trying to go impress? Don't play with me on Educational Friday. Not today. Now, I'm just saying, you smelling too good. I smelled your wind when you passed, and I don't like it. I smelled that. I swear. That's why I you. What kind? What? All right, go ahead. I'm just saying, I ain't like that wind. I love you too. I don't like that wind though. That turned the women's head. You know what I'm saying? Don't tell the truth. You see a man walk past you, and that doggone that wind catch him and make you catch whiplash. That's what I did. Oh, hold on, where you going? Girl, please. I'm not on Educational Friday. Not today. Nah, not on Educational Friday. Don't it, Sheila? That wind smell make them stop in mind more. Yay! Girl, I swear he just passed right here. And when the wind hit me, my head just, I forgot what I was saying. You smelling all good for? Nah, don't play with me. I don't know what he was wearing. He just got it over there on the counter. I don't know what he was wearing. But he better tread light with all of that. You know, you smell like a nigga when you leave here. I don't need you smelling. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, you passing by all the women. Hey, hi, what are you wearing? No, bitch, don't spark up no conversation. Okay. Zaria said the Bell Beaker people are indigenous to England. That's good to know. I didn't know that. Wow. So you're aware you're not a transplant then, Zaria. You're not a transplant. You are in your native land. That's crazy. That's crazy. Please hit the like button. Thank you, Miss Parker. Thank you, Miss Parker. Thank you, Miss Parker. Thank you, Miss Parker, for the super chat. Let me make sure I ain't miss nobody else. April LeBlanc, thank you for being a member for 1 month. Hey, boo, my maternal great-grandfather was born in Morgan City. His mother was full-blooded Choctaw. Wow. My mother and I are tracing our lineage. That is amazing. That is amazing, April LeBlanc. I am so happy that y'all doing that. And I'm telling you, it's so fulfilling. Oh, my God, it is so fulfilling. You have no idea. You have no idea. When you be finding stuff out, you'll be like, like, wow. Like, I swear, finding that Suma thing out in Mississippi just off of a hunch and just from what I already knew, that just made me feel good. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Trey, for becoming a member. Thank you so much, Trey. Thank you for becoming a member. So, the Black Europeans and the Africans. I always said it. Where were all of them negros? Oh, the Moors. That's where I was going with it. If you believe that the Moors were of melanated skin tone and they were the seafarers, they were the ones who were traveling, trading. They went from Africa all around the world. They went everywhere. If you are of that belief, then you have to be of the belief that also there were Black people in those other places. You already know Black people are indigenous to all of this land. So my question is this: Christopher Columbus didn't sail on the boat. He wasn't not a pilot. What do you call it? He wasn't the person who drive the ship, who drive the boat. The Moors took him. A painter that I seen on Dane Calloway, I can't remember his name, but he was talking about how another painter painted him as Negro. I believe they Black. I believe they was Black. And I believe this is what I believe. And this is just me. He said it in his stand-up, GG. The captain sailor. Yeah, the captain or sailor. Listen, this is my belief. I don't know nothing about nothing. I'm just telling y'all what I believe, okay? But this is what I believe. Yes, Gabe, they were melanated people too. Yes. And that's another thing. If you got to take into account all them Black gods and goddesses and all. Remember, Putin just unveiled the Black Jesus. Where them people at? Where's all them people that Putin just unveiled a whole slew of stuff? Where's all them people? I believe they're in Africa. And I said what I said. I believe they're in Africa, and I said what I said. I believe it. Now, we want to be conspiracy. The Masons ran to certain people who could not accept poor righteous teachings. They ran them to the Caucasus Mountain, i.e. the lesser clearance. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let me read the super chat. Miss Toya, thank you for the super chat. Hey, boo, have you read the book They Come Before Columbus? No, by Ivan Van Sertima. No, I haven't. I have not. But you know what book I did find? I'm going to go get that. But you know what I did find, you guys? And we got to get back to this doctrine. You know what I did find? There was a lady, and I don't want to lie. Hold on. What's this lady name? In the 1800s, who wrote a book. Hold on. Called Indian History, Biography, and Genealogy, pertaining to the good Sachem Massasoit. I don't know how to pronounce it. But this lady's name is, hold on. Hold on. I don't want to lie. What's this lady's name? Hold on. This lady's name is... It's called the Wampanoag tribe and his descendants. So let me give you the whole thing. Indian history, biography, and genealogy pertaining to the good Sachem Massasoit of the Wampanoag tribe and his descendants. And it says by Ebenezer W. Price of Freetown, Massachusetts. This is a black, so-called black, woman of this Indian tribe, the Wampanoag tribe. And in this book, I only started reading a little bit of it. But yeah, I'm gonna send it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put that up there too. I'm gonna put that on the post for Education of Friday on the thing. But she's talking about her people and her lineage traced all. She's going back to when the Dutch first got off the boat and messed with her people, girl. Yes, it's on Amazon, but I found it for free. I'm just about to show it to y'all. I'm about to give it to y'all now. But no, Miss Toya, I need to get that book. I'm gonna have to come back to this live. Can you send it to me in the email, the title of that book, Miss Toya? If you can, I would surely appreciate it. If you could send me the title of that book, I would definitely go and check it out, because I started reading this lady book and I had to hurry up and get up and stop reading it because I had to get ready for this doggone this thing. Hold on. I want to show. I'm about to put the link up here. This is the free one. I was about to buy it off of Amazon, but then I saw it for free. I said, "Well, shoot, what are we talking about?" Here you go. Y'all know each one teach one. Sharing is caring. Girl, get this off of here. All right. Let me share this tab instead. Can y'all see this? Here's a picture of the lady. Hold on. No. Go back. Here's the picture of the lady. And she's writing about when her lineage, this is in the 1800s, 1878. She wrote the book in 1878. But she's talking about how she remembers when the Dutch first got off the boat in Massachusetts. I want to read just a little bit, and we are getting off subject, but I just be so excited when I see, you know what it made me feel like? Y'all remember when Celie found all them letters, when her and Suge Avery found them letters after Mr. went down to the juke joint, and she found out she was getting buku letters, and she found all them letters and sat down and was like, ooh, it's so many of them. I don't know what I was going to do. And then Suge said, put them in order by bookmark. That's how I be feeling when I get this knowledge, girl, I swear. I don't know. I just be feeling like that. You know what I'm saying? So, okay. Yes, that's a black woman. Yes, ma'am. That is a black woman. Yes, ma'am. Of the minority, I can't pronounce it, tribe. I just wanted to read some of the part I was showing you. I was telling y'all. My object in bringing this work before the public is not only to show that I am a lineal descendant of the 7th generation from the great and good Massasoit, whom both the red and white man now venerate and honor, but also to make record of the wrongs which during all those generations have been endured by my race. Hold on. When the pale face first came to these shores, homeless and helpless, outcast in the cold month of December, Massasoit was king and ruler over a large part of Massachusetts, with Rhode Island and part of Connecticut. When their sanction provisions were gone and they were left in a state of starvation, had they not received timely aid from the noble red man, they would have perished then and there. Remember when I told y'all who the red man is? The red man is that color I showed y'all, that crayon color. That's the I'm about to drop the link for y'all. The red man is really the copper color person. It says, but what has been the reward for the Massasoit and his descendants from the time of landing on the Puritans down to the present hour? Nothing but deception and neglect. For the past 25 years, I have been seeking redress for the wrongs done to me and mine by petitioning the Massachusetts legislature to remove the state's guardianship from my... let me go this way. From my land, I think is what she's gonna say. Yeah, from my land, and to pay me for the wood cut therefrom by their agent Benjamin F. Winslow of Fall River. In response to my first petition, Governor Gardner had a committee appointed to hear my case. Mr. Winslow made a report to this committee that $1,500 worth of wood had been cut in one winter from the squim lots, and when asked why he had not put his money in the bank for the benefit of the heirs, replied that he did not know there were any heirs. It seemed as though when it was thought by him that all the Indians were dead. Let me go back. This clear man is taking the property, he's cutting wood off of her land and keeping the money. Hear me out. He's cutting wood off of her land and keeping the money. He made $1,500. He made $1,500. And then he didn't put the money up and say he assumed that he said, it seems as though when I thought by him that it seemed as though it was thought by him that all the Indians were dead. One was dug right up out the grave. The state has never paid me for the wood their agent acknowledged to have cut. The reason why I speak of this is that many of my friends thought that I had been paid long and long ago. They could not believe that the legislature would be so unjust and not to have paid me that which rightfully due for wood taken and sold by their agents. Now, I'm not going to read it all. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and get the link. Let me go and get the link. And I'm about to post it in the comments. I can't wait to read it. This is going to be a good read. $1,500 in the 1800s. You know how much money that was? Are y'all familiar with how much money that was? I'm going to pin it to the top of the chat too. Yeah, I remember showing y'all that color, that crayon. Of course. Of course, that I pinned it to the top of the chat. If anybody want to go get it, it's pinned to the top of the chat. Let me see. Do I still have that crayon? I can't wait to read it though. This is gonna be a good read. When that lady said red, she meant the color, like the Indian red color that I showed y'all out the crayon box. Hold on. Did I save it? Let me see if I saved it. So I'm saving all my love for you. No, I didn't save it. Golly. But she meant the color red. I'll post that as well. All right. Let's get back into the scholarship, y'all. Let's get back into the scholarship. Show the Indian red. All right, I'm going to get it. I'll show the Indian red. Hold on. Because I want everybody to get as much as they can get. Here you go. All right, I'm getting it right now. When she said that if it were not, the lady said in this book, if it were not for the red man, basically when they had nothing left, they would have perished. But the red man was the one who helped them. Y'all remember the rapper Redman? Y'all know how we call light-skinned people red? Here's the color right here. Look at this color. I think, Sheila, I think you said you want to see it. Indian red. That used to be inside the coloring box. It's not no more though. Hey, she knows. You see that Indian red? Because remember, don't think of red like, do I have something around me red? Do not think of red like the red that you know. That's not the red they talking about. Do not think of red as the red that you know. Think of red as a lighter skinned black. Yes, that's us. We still call each other red to this day. Hell, Malcolm X, before he became Malcolm X and he was Detroit Little. They used to call him Detroit Red. When he was Malcolm Little, when he was running the streets, selling drugs and all that, they called him Detroit Red. Yes, red clay. My grandmother speaks about that all the time. My grandmother, who's 83, says that she used to eat red clay back as a kid. Yep, red bone. Yep, red bone. Yep, red fox. Yep, all of that. This is so when they say the red man, see, this is another way the government was able to trick us. This is another way the government was able to trick us. Now, they put an actual color red in there, right? And made that red. Now, before we were woke, when we were in a deep sleep, they were able to put this color in the crayon box and nobody questioned it because we were in a deep, deep sleep. Now that people are waking up in the past 10, 20 years, they've completely taken that up out of there. Because red was a color that was not only described by us, but it was a way that we referred to each other. Remember, the clear people who was watching us and spying on us who come over here, they were saying that we had to be African because we were black. Hence the word negro, black. So with that being said, be mindful and listen, that red clay, remember I said of the land, Aboriginal from the beginning. When that lady in that book just said, they had red clay on my people's graves and we were trying to see what grows good under red clay. But look, when that lady in the book said, if it were not for the red man, that's what she was talking about. And where's red man from? Jersey. Why would he call himself red man? We don't even know. We don't even be realizing the things that we do that are so tribal. Like, for instance, you know what another thing that we do that's super, super tribal? We name our children after our elders. Think about it. You might have a child. We name our children after other family. That's what we do. It's a tribal thing. There's certain things that Black Americans do that we all just do inherently alike. I know I named my daughter, her middle name is my mother's first name. My baby brother, who's 30 now, he's named after my dad's grandfather. It's something that we do. Nicknames are tribal, yes. And we all have a lot of the same nicknames. So that's what I'm saying. We are very tribal people. We know us. We know each other. We know each other. And we could tell us when we really in our purpose and when we're really in our spirituality and we're not even realizing it. We know each other. The African can't blend in. They stick out like a sore thumb with certain things that we do alike, certain things that we say alike, certain ways that they stick out like a sore thumb. That is your proof that you and some of us are the same and some of us aren't. And just because we share the same skin tone does not mean anything. So that's you know what I'm saying? So when you hear red, do not think of that color that we all think about. That's not what that don't go like that. That's the red they talking about. That's the red. And what the government did was, oh, they called themselves red. Tell them that they're black, and then take the red person and get the Mongoloid, put the Mongoloid in between the red person, right? Tell them that they're black. Get the children, make them believe that they're black, so that they don't identify with this red. And then go get the Mongoloid, right? Slide the Mongoloid up in there. He's lighter skinned. He'd be more hard pressed to be labeled as red than the person who thinks they're black. Are you tracking? You run away from that black word. Run away from it. Run away from that black word. That black word, I'm telling you. Yep. And even copper color, the term copper color. Copper still hints to this red. Copper looks this color. Copper literally looks this color. It literally looks this color. Hold on. Somebody said something. Sean says they kept the color, just changed the name. Burnt sienna, still in the box to this day. You see what I'm saying? Hey, they changed the name of that color like they changed the name of who? Who else they be changing the name of? Oh yeah, hurry up, change that. Change that. Get that up out of here. That's why this morning when we was down there on that morning Joe's and them clear people was over there hollering about, they said we can't prove through bloodline that we really of the tribes, and they kicking us out and evicting us. Sound about right. It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. Ain't that what they say? It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun, because remember, these people who we look at as the Native Americans today, those are the people who enslaved mine and your ancestors. You got to know that part. I hope y'all know that part. They were the ones who jumped in on the slavery of you and my people. Their ancestors are the first 5 civilized tribes. That's their ancestors. So y'all crying because they're kicking y'all out. I'm over here making sure my mortgage paid because you feel me? You know what I'm saying? Girl. They be on TikTok arguing with black people when they say they own slaves. They definitely did. That is documented. That is documented. And also, I started looking into that Bering Strait bullshit. The more I looked into that, hey, let's talk network. The more I looked into that, I'm squinting my eyes at that shit too. I'm squinting my eyes at that too. People been asking me about the Bering Strait, so I just did a little peek into it. And I was like, hold on. But when you look at it, it say it is believed. It is believed that the people walked on this small little patch of thin and narrow land, and then it is believed they jumped into little boats and moved. Where they get the boats from, nigga? Where they get the boats from? What you mean? So they walked all this time? Who left boats for these people to get in and paddle? Girl. Bye. But we'll get into the Bering Strait another day. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Misha B say, I love it here. Oh, man, we gonna get this knowledge, man. We gonna get on it. What's that? Strawberry girl. That is the strawberry G. That is a red. This was a color inside of the coloring box that they called Indian red. Basically, what that is, if you just coming on, that color right there used to be inside of the Crayola box. Now, I'm told that it's still inside there, but it's called something different. But it's called Indian red. Back when the colonizers was here, we described ourselves as red. And even up until this day, like I was saying, I was saying that we call each other red as nicknames. We describe each other as red. Sometimes if you lighter skin, that's something that we would do. And we are not black. I said, if you look at that crayon, let me zoom in a little bit. You are more this color. You are more this color than black. Hey, Renetta. Hey, how y'all doing? Welcome in if y'all just getting in. It's now called Chestnut. Child. These people really be playing on our tops. And if they done changed it again, then that tells you that there's only another thing that they change names on like that in this world. And who is it? Me and you. Me and you. Child, it's a time of messing with these clear people, girl. But again, like I told y'all, to the clear people who getting kicked out of your land because them people telling you that you can't prove your biology. If y'all was smart, you'll tell them to prove theirs too. If y'all was smart, you'll tell them to prove yours too, nigga. I'll be like, I'm gonna prove mine when you prove yours. Oh, thank you, Ronetta. You got an easy name to pronounce. It be the other ones I be struggling with. Right, Danielle, with the grandkids. In New Orleans, if you light skin, you red. I had a red sister and brother. I know. But listen, if them people that's getting kicked out, if they smart, I say let's all take the test. On my mama. I go to the UN or somewhere, we all gonna take the test. And nigga, if y'all gonna come kick me out after my great-great-granddaddy been doing this shit, nigga, everybody roll up, everybody getting their mouth swab. Fuck all that. Nigga, we all gonna sit down at the 23andMe table. I don't care. We all going to sit down there. Say what I said. If I'm getting kicked out, nigga, we all getting kicked out. You feel me? If I get kicked out, everybody got to go. And that's just the facts on facts. If I got to go after my great-great-granddaddy been doing this shit, playing cowboy and playing indigenous all these years, nigga, we all getting up out of here. I need everybody to swab their mouth, please, and thank you. Thank you for the super sticker, Let's Talk Network, or Let's Talk Network, I'm sorry. Thank you for the super sticker. I ain't bullshitting. Girl, please. I'm Nino Brown. If I go down, everybody going down with me. What's wrong with you? Hell yeah. Thank you, Let's Talk Network, for the super sticker. Let's get back into it. So this is what we know so far. This is what we know so far, guys. The people are coming over here to trade. They need a better route for trade. These Europeans. And right now, it's the Portuguese and the Spaniards. Spain. Portuguese and Spain were literally coming run their ass around here so that they can, they was trying to conquer the world. Who does that remind you of? Real quick. And you don't have to put the name in the chat, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Wasn't it another person who was running through parts of Europe and they was trying to take over the whole world, but then the government turned around and got them up out of here and was like, nah, you can't do all of that. It was one person. It was one person. He was very strategic, very successful. He would also go down in history. Put the initials in the chat if y'all know what I'm talking about. As the best war strategist of all time. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Put the initials in the chat if you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, you got it, Meek. Meek, you got it. You got it. Yeah. Y'all, see, I love y'all. Thank y'all. Yes. Somebody say Marco Polo. Girl, I know you lied. Nuh-uh. No, not Jesus. We about to get into Jesus too. It's this one. This is your clue, right? and these are your initials. That's what I'm talking about. Why look, mind you, I always ask myself why America was worried about what's going on in Europe. They ain't had nothing to do with America. We got our stuff going on. Hell, he even got on his shit one day and said, America, y'all niggas need to mind y'all business. Quiet as it's kept. You worry about what we got going on over here. But shit, y'all got to sweep in front your own front porch. You got the America's jewels. That's what he said. In chains. Yeah, that's their cousin B-Dub. But look, he said, while you over here worried about what I'm doing in Europe, America, y'all need to mind y'all mother plucking business. Because while you over there worried about me and what I got going on, you need to be worried about why you got over there with America's precious jewels in chains. Oh, baby, Hitler was petty. He was petty. Oh, yes, he was. Oh, yes, he was. But yeah, he was messy. He just had to throw that out there, put that in the papers. Yeah, but he put that in the papers for everybody to see. America, you need to mind your business, is what he said. Okay. And he outed the fact that when he was in the army, they went on a rough sack. I don't know if that's what you call it. When they go tracking or trucking in the mountains, when they go marching in the mountains and camping and shit. He said that when he went further out, he realized that there were Black Jews who were original to the land. And he had not known that because they had pushed them so far out where nobody could see. Oh, he was messy. Oh, yes, he was. He was messy. See, my boy A.H. went down and said when they locked him up, when they locked his ass up, when they locked him up, he said, oh, y'all want to lock me up? See, Marcus Garvey want to make a mixtape. You know what I'm saying? He on some nigga shit. He over there making mixtapes and shit. Not A.H. A.H. said, oh, since y'all want to play, cool. Give me a pen and paper, please. He was spilling all the teas. He said, yes, when I was in the army, we had went on a hike. And I know they didn't say it, but I said it. He said, when I went out there, I had seen that they had a whole bunch of juices. The juices who are the originators or the origin of this land. The one I'm sitting on. That's what he said. Yep. That man got a very interesting story, but he was messy. That's where I was going with it. He was messy. He was messy, y'all. He was messy. Yeah. Hey, you better speak. She knows. He called the jewels in Germany. Look, and not only did he call them that, he said, and that's why I feel justified in bloop, 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 bloop. Bloop, 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 bloop. Bloop, 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 bloop. Oh, yeah, girl. Where y'all been at, girl? Listen, I keep telling y'all, I'm a history buff. I love history. I live for it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Please use code words. Don't put the real words in here. Use code words. I'm a history buff. I've been into all of this. Into that, I've always been like, something ain't right. Something ain't right. Something ain't right. So I remember going back and researching this stuff on my own. On my own. Why did it end this way? Oh, baby, Hitler, please. Please. And I didn't say it. He said it. Go dig him up and ask him. Yeah, Strawberry G, you better go see it. You better go check it out. So my thing was, when he tried, he felt like it's cool when they do it, but it's a problem when I. Let me find out. My nigga was down there in the doggone in the what you call them. He said it's cool when they do it, but it's a problem when I do it. Oh, y'all. He said, America, go lay down. America, go lay down. It's cool when y'all do it, but it's a problem when I do it. America, go lay down. That's what he said. And I don't blame him. I don't blame him. I would have felt like that too. The fuck? Thank you for the super chat again, Cosmic Sun Soul. She said AH was Trump for real. Facts. Y'all ever seen Trump when he get mad? He go to saying anything. Like Trump told that clear lady in Congress, he said, you don't look like, he said, you don't look, he said, I know what the Indians look like, and you don't look like one to me. He said, you just as white as me. And if something of the nature saying then that you more closer to me than the Indian, he said that. I showed y'all that. He said, you more closer to me than the Indian. Did say that part. Thank you, Cosmic Sun Soul. Thank you, Donna Sharif, for the super chat. Thank you so much. Oh, hearts back to you. I believe that too. Zaria, I believe that. I don't believe he got unalive right then and there. I don't believe he got unalive right there. The archive, remember the Great Migration, 6 million African Americans moving from the South. Then they say the 6 million Jews were slaughtered. Coincidence? Right? Nope. All I got to say is read some. I am in love with this audience today. Y'all are on it. Do you hear me? Not only that, they got a lot of number coincidences. Y'all knew that, right? Girl, let's get back into where we're going, because I'm way off track. So boom, the New World. So Christopher Columbus, who was allegedly a Negro, they said, where was I going? Oh, yeah. So they came down for different reasons. This is why they were all coming. They were all trying to do world dominance, but at this point, it's between Portuguese and Spain. Portuguese and Spain are running the show. That now takes us to, let me go get them. Sorry. Now let's go get Christopher Columbus. Let's go get Christopher crazy ass. Get Chris up here. Let's get Chris up here. Here we go. All right. Y'all, we done been josing on here real bad. For real bad. You know what, B-Dub? I ain't gonna say it, but you said it. Vu, you got my baby looking up history. Yeah, Vu. Oh, yeah, of course. Yo, yeah. I'm that's a great thing, Danielle. Thank you. I tell him I'm so proud. Yes, that is a great thing. Now let's get Chris crazy ass up here. Now he's supposed to be an Italian explorer, but allegedly they said he was really Spanish. He was from Spain for real. His name was Cristoforo Colombo, but we call him Christopher Columbus. Okay, that's what we call him. Brief history. He was born between August 26th and October 31st of 1451 in Genoa, Italy, and he died May 20th, 1506 in Valladolid. How you say that? What the black European on here? Valladolid, Spain. Was a master navigator and admiral for four transatlantic voyages, 1492 to 93, 1493 to 96, 1498 to 1500, and 1502 to 04, opened the way for the European exploration, exploiting, and colonization of the Americas. Mind you, on that first trip when he first came, y'all know that he didn't even make it to America. Remember, he got lost? And wasn't he somewhere around like Haiti or something? Girl, please. But they got him on here like he was such a great voyager. That nigga wasn't even driving a boat. He wasn't even driving a boat. But anyway, he has long been called the discoverer of the New World, although Vikings such as Leif Erikson had visited North America 5 centuries earlier. Columbus made his transatlantic voyages under the sponsorship of Ferdinand II and Isabella I, the Catholic monarchs of Aragon, Castile, and Leon in Spain. Mind you, Ferdinand II and Isabella I, that's the king and queen, right? Of Spain. Why this Italian Negro going to set sail for Spain? And then this is a key fact. How was he the discoverer of America when they have documented Leif Erikson had visited 5 centuries before? Not only that, the Moors and other people have been back and forth trading with America from the very beginning. Like, why they giving Chris all of this credit? You know, Chris is Drake. Chris is Drake. Chris is Drake. Chris is the Drake of 1492. Yes, he is. I just thought about it. Chris is the Drake of 1492. They just pumping Chris up like he all of this and all of that. The whole time, Chris average at best. That's a good question. What happened to Lewis and Clark? Girl, Chris is the Drake of 2024, girl. Of 1492, I'm sorry. He's what Drake gonna be when they go ahead and in about 100 years, they gonna write Drake up like they write Christopher Columbus up. Yeah, we gonna call him, instead of BBL Drizzy, we gonna call Chrissy BBL Chrissy. BBL Chrissy. BBL Chrissy. Cap ass nigga. Pussy ass nigga. Cap ass nigga. BBL Chrissy. BBL Chrissy. Woo! BBL Chrissy. BBL Chrissy. That's what we gonna call him. Because this nigga cap. And whoever wrote this and propped him up, y'all niggas is cap too. He BBL Chrissy, and I said what I said. I don't care. He BBL Chrissy, and that's just what it is. Thank you, Sonia Matthews, for the super chat. Boo, I've never been interested in history until now. I owe it all to you. Thank you. Oh, Sonia, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This is making me so proud. Thank you. Thank you, Sonia. Yeah, we got BBL Chrissy on here. BBL Chrissy, go lay your ugly ass down. Nigga ain't did nothing. He was a flunky. Let's talk about it. BBL Chrissy was a flunky. And we had a whole day named after the nigga. That's Drake. I'm telling you. That's Drake. I'm telling you, that's Drake. Anyways, let's go back into it. Anyways, he discovered America, but the nigga ain't even make it. Come on, make it make sense. How he discovered? Girl, bye. Never mind, BBL Chrissy. I'm not going to make it forward with you. He was at first full of hope and ambition partly gratified by his title Admiral of the Ocean Sea, awarded to him in April 1492, and by the grants enrolled in the Book of Privileges, a record of his titles and claims. However, he died a disappointed man. I'm pretty sure your parents were disappointed too, BBL Chrissy. The period between the quartercentenary celebrations of Columbus' achievements in 1892 and 93, I don't care about all that. Let's move on. I got something else to show y'all. Hold on about Chris. Let's get to these sails that he set, allegedly. Let's get to these sails that they say he set. Now let's go to 1492. Let's go 1492 first, okay? Now, according to this, 1492, where my cursor at? I can't even see. All right. Historians generally recognize 3 motives for European exploration. No, we already went on this. I'm on the wrong one. That's what it is. August 3rd, 1492, Columbus set sail, right? On August 3rd, 1492, Italian explorer Christopher Columbus started his voyage across the Atlantic Ocean. Remember about them ocean gyres? What kind of boat was this Negro on? Not to mention, I'm not saying that's impossible, but anyway, let's move on. Caravels of Columbus. Columbus set sail from Spain in 3 ships, the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. That's the name of the 3 ships. Can y'all let me see what this looks like on here? Y'all notice something? Let me show y'all something too. Notice something. These people, Spain, was coming to do a lot of things, but the main thing was enforce Jesus, God, Christianity. All of these ships coming from Spain, and I want to say Great Britain too, they all had crosses on them. What is the symbolism for Christianity today? Ain't it a cross? Just, you know, little something to think about, right? On August 3rd, 1492, Italian explorer Christopher Columbus started his voyage across the Atlantic Ocean. With a crew of 90 men in 3 ships, the Nina, Pinta, and Santa Maria, he left from Palos de la Frontera, Spain. Columbus reasoned that since this world is round, he could sail west to reach the east, the lucrative lands of India and China. So he was trying to get to India and China. That reasoning was actually sound, but the earth is so much larger than Columbus thought. Large enough for him to run into 2 enormous continents, the new world of the Americas, mostly unknown to the Europeans. Cap, because the Moors knew exactly, whatever. Columbus made it to what is now the Bahamas in 61 days. He initially thought his plan was successful, and the ships and the ships had reached India. In fact, he called the indigenous people Indians, an inaccurate name for that unfortunately stuck. Now, remember, this is why I tell y'all that some people in America name themselves Indians. And that's not just America, North America, South America, all the Caribbeans. If somebody say Indian, it's because outside of what we were calling ourselves, that was the first name we were known to in the world to everybody else. That's basically was what that was. Okay. All right. So now that's over. Now, ultimately, he was on his way trying to go to India and China, and the Negro failed, and somehow he the greatest explorer of all time. Kibbity cap. Get BBL Chrissy off of here. BBL Chrissy. BBL Chrissy. Woo! BBL Chrissy. BBL Chrissy. Chris, get your ugly ass off of here. Okay? Because you lied. You're a liar. Okay? Well, all right. We already talked about this. Oh, let me show y'all this. This is one part that wasn't in that piece. The voyage of 1492. It says Columbus left Spain with 90 men aboard 3 vessels. So he had 90 men on those 3 ships. So 3 ships, 90 men. So I'm assuming what, 30 men on each ship? I'm sorry. And the opinion were caravels. What are caravels? Let me go see. Y'all know I be wanting to go see what these boats look like. What are caravels? Because I know they be drawing and shit. But I want to see. Show me a caravel. I don't want no drawing. Show me the actual picture. You know they're going to act like they ain't got one. Girl, please. I'm trying to see something. What the hell is a caravel? Y'all ain't going to just slide that under my nose and I ain't going to think about it. What the hell is a caravel? I don't want to see no pictures. I want to see the real deal. And it's nothing but pictures on here. Nothing but depictions. Hold on. Uh-oh. Can we make this bigger? Oh, no. Go back. I think I found one. How big is this? But see, they saying it's the Nina. Look. This is what they saying it is. I guess you could fit 30 men on here, huh? Hold on. Let me let y'all see it. What y'all think? Y'all think they get 30 men on here a piece plus cargo? Maybe. I can't see how really. Well, I guess if you look at the man right here, let me make it bigger. Yeah, I guess you could get 30 men on this. It's a tight fit, but you know, you guys like the video. Like the video, like the video. Like the video, child. Remember, these are all sailboats. Ain't no propellers, ain't no engines. It wasn't existed. It wasn't even a steamboat. These are all sailboats. You are at the leisure of the earth. That do look like a Forrest Gump boat, huh, B-Dub? Don't it, B-Dub? It look like a Forrest Gump boat. You ain't lying. Let me find out that was bubblegum shrimp. Girl, them people be lying, girl. Them people be lying. BBL Chrissy. Back to where I was. Anyways, the Santa Maria was a larger, slower rig. After several weeks at sea, the expedition finally landed in October 1492 on an island off Bahamas, and named it San Salvador, meaning blessed savior. Columbus' next stop was Cuba. The expedition then continued to present-day Haiti. So he's saying they stopped in Bahamas first, then they carried their ass down to Cuba, and then they stopped in Haiti, a part of the island that Columbus called Hispaniola. Columbus promptly claimed the area for the Spanish crown. It says the expedition was met with friendly natives bearing gifts for the newcomers. Columbus' group immediately began interacting with Los Indios, which was the Indians, as he called them, claiming in his journal that they were friendly people and willing allies. Finding the land beautiful and the people agreed, Columbus left about 40 men behind and sailed home with the news of success. Believing that he reached Asia, Columbus was eager to return to Europe with samples of the people and treasure to be had. On this first voyage, Columbus seized about 20 natives and took them back to Spain. Only 7 or 8 survived the trip. So pause. He left with 90 men. How many? Pause. Now this ain't making sense. They say he arrived with 90 men. How many he leave with on them little bitty ass boats? Girl. BBL Chrissy. All right, we done had enough for Columbus. Get him off of here. Let's move on. Now, Columbus is setting sail for Spain. Now, I want to get into this person. This is a very interesting person. Now, this person right here is going to upstage Columbus. But wait, before we get into him, let's go to the British colonies. Let's go to the British colonies, okay? We gonna get to the person that upstaged Columbus crazy ass. Am I sharing the right tab? Oh, y'all can't see. All right. Now, the English colonization begins. All right, so it says during the early and mid 16th century, that's the early to mid 1500s, the English tended to conceive of North America as a base for piracy and harassment of the Spanish. So the British ain't fucking with the Spanish. By the end of the century, the English began to think more seriously about North America as a place to colonize, as a market for English goods and a source of raw materials and commodities such as furs. English promoters claimed that the New World colonization offered England many advantages. Not only would it serve as a bulwark against Catholic Spain, it would supply England with raw materials and provide a market for finished products. America would also provide a place to send the English poor and ensure that they would contribute to the nation's wealth. Remember, they told us Africa had all the resources. Why are these clear people coming to America then? Shouldn't they have set their sights on Africa? They had already been there. So what did America have that Africa didn't? But yet in today's time, they tell us Africa is the motherland. Africa has all the resources. That is a lie. Because if Africa had all the resources, when they got to Africa first, I guarantee you they would have never made it around this corner. They would have never made it around here. It's all a lie. You have to question everything you've ever been taught in history, because all these people setting their sights on America for either trade, for gold, for whatever it is. And you mean to tell me that Africa is the place? Stop it. And that's why today the Africans trying to get over here. If you ask me, it goes back to my theory that they the real black Europeans. Because remember, if you are to believe that the Moors were Negroes, black, and you are to believe that that Christopher Columbus and them was Negro, remember they started it. How Michael Jackson say, you want to be starting something, got to be starting something. So if they started the whole voyage to America and then got their ass whipped by the clears and made to go over to Africa, that would make sense why inherently they still trying to get over here. You get it? Just a theory. I don't have no proof. Just a theory. Just a theory. Okay. Anyways, that's what I'm saying, Gabe. If Africa is this and that, then why they over here? Because everything they told us Africa was is here. That's the short answer. Everything they ever told you about Africa is really here. Egypt, here. All the pyramids, here. They got some there, but the most pyramids and mounds, here. Everything they told y'all about Africa is really here. And then what they did was they said that all of this stuff and all of these great things are in Africa, and then told us we were African. Whole time we ain't no Africans. We are indigenous to the land that we are on, and we are so far removed from our culture, it's ridiculous. But girl, we are waking up in droves. Thank you, Lord. Jesus. Well, not Jesus, but thank you. You know what I'm saying? Let's move on. Anyways, during the late 16th century, go down. During the late 16th and early 17th centuries, the English poor increased rapidly in number as a result of the enclosure of traditional common lands, which were increased used to raise sheep. Many common people were forced to become wage workers or wage laborers, or else to support themselves hand to mouth or simply as beggars. After unsuccessful attempts to establish settlements in Newfoundland and at Roanoke, the famous lost colony off the coast of present-day North Carolina, England established its first permanent North American settlement in Jamestown, 1607. Everybody who knows anything about the inception of this whole so-called New World, they know Virginia, Jamestown, those are the hubs, the major hubs for all of that, right? Located in swampy marshlands along Virginia's James River, Jamestown residents suffered horrendous mortality rates during its first years. Immigrants had just a 50-50 chance of surviving 5 years. It says the Jamestown expedition was financed by Virginia Company of London, which believed the precious metals were to be found in the area. Let me run that again. Remember, they say all the stuff is in Africa, but look what they say about Great Britain. The Jamestown expedition was financed by the Virginia Company of London, which believed that precious metals were to be found in that area. Who on here from Virginia all got people in Virginia? Them people thought that precious metals was over there, and it was. From the outset, however, Jamestown suffered from disease and conflict with Indians. Ooh! With who, child? Jamestown suffered from disease and conflict with Indians. Approximately 30,000 Algonquin Indians lived in the region, divided into 40 tribes. Do you see what I'm saying? So under the Algonquins, they had 40 different tribes under there. About 30 tribes belonged to a confederacy led by Powhatan. So there was a confederacy. Hence the Confederate flag. Hear me out. I know they told us the Confederate flag was racism and it was the clear people symbol. They stole it. We had confederacies before them people got here. Story for another day. Food was the initial source of conflict, more interesting in finding gold and silver than in farming. Jamestown's residents, many of whom were earlier aristocrats of or their servants were unable or unwilling to work. When the English began to seize Indian food stocks, Powhatan cut off supplies, forcing the colonists to subsist on frogs, snakes, and even decaying corpses. So Powhatan, the Indian chief who led the tribes, the Confederate tribes, they said when the clear people didn't want to work, they started basically stealing food and stuff. So Powhatan cut them off, and they were eating on frogs, snakes, and even decaying corpses. They were eating dead bodies. Smith Captain John Smith, 1580 to 1631, was 26 years old when the first expedition landed. A farmer's son, Smith had already led an adventurous life before arriving in Virginia. Why am I doing that? He fought with the Dutch army against the Spanish in Eastern European against the Ottoman Turks when he was taken captive and enslaved. He later escaped to Russia before returning to England. Smith served as president of Jamestown colony from 1608 to 1609, required the colonists to work and traded with Indians for food. So when they first got there, they had to play ball. When they got there, they had to play ball. See, they thought they were just going to go there and be lazy and not do nothing. And then they didn't, girl, what that was crawled up here. Then they didn't work, so they didn't eat. So then they tried to steal, and Powhatan cut them off, had them eating snakes and frogs in each other's dead bodies. So when Captain John Smith come along, he was like, yo, we got to work with these Indians, my nigga. Like, we can't battle these niggas. It's too many of them. We have to work with them. Yes, Dadan, they needed natives to eat. They could not eat without natives. It was impossible. Impossible. They needed natives to eat. And it makes sense, Dadan, because think about it. Think about it like this. They don't know nothing about cultivating the land. They don't know nothing about hunting the land. They are not from that land. So of course you need them to come help me out. The fuck? There's no way I can eat. Yeah. He said that in 1609, after being wounded in a gunpowder accident, Smith returned to England. After his departure, conflict between English and Powhatan Confederacy intensified, especially after the colonists began to clear land in order to plant tobacco. In a volume recounting the history of English colony in Virginia, Smith describes a famous incident in which Powhatan's 12-year-old daughter, Pocahontas, 1595 to 1617, saved him from execution. Now, mind you, if Pocahontas is Powhatan's daughter, and Powhatan is a native Indian or an indigenous Aboriginal Indian, he was definitely a so-called Indian red man or a Negro black melanated man. That would mean that Pocahontas was a Negro or melanated red Indian red girl, which means that all them depictions they showed us of Pocahontas, even that goddamn cartoon, that movie they put up there, that was not Pocahontas. That was not a clear woman. It says, although some have questioned whether this incident took place since Smith failed to mention it in his history's first edition, it says it may well have been a staged event, an elaborate adoption ceremony by which Powhatan symbolically made Smith his vassal or servant. Though through similar ceremonies, the Powhatan people incorporated outsiders into their society. Pocahontas reappears in the colony's records in 1613 when she was lured aboard an English ship and held captive. Negotiations for her release failed, and in 1614 she married John Ralphie, the colonist who introduced tobacco to Virginia. Don't believe it. Whether this marriage represents an attempt to forge an alliance between the English and the Powhatan remains uncertain. That's cap. That's cap. I don't believe that, but here we go. Here we are. Now that's Britain, Great Britain, and what they got going on. Now let's go to. I'm sorry, I got notes. If I'm looking down, I got notes. I want to touch on somebody else. Oh yeah, I got some pictures I want to show y'all too. Let me show you what these niggas look like. We ain't on him yet. I want to show you guys Christopher Columbus and take a look. Look at this. Now, these are depictions, allegedly, of them making it to the lands. Well, this Columbus over there, probably on one of them lands that he thought he was at somewhere. This is him on one of these lands. This is him and his so-called people getting off the vessels and onto the lands. Now, Christopher Columbus, they say nobody know what he looked like, but like I said, if y'all go watch that Dan Calloway video, there was an artist who actually painted him, and he was a Negro person. Moving on. Here's another photo, but this is what I want to show y'all. Every single one of these photos, look at that cross. Look at that. Ain't that white supremacy sign that they be using now? What they call this? Not the swastika. Is that the swastika? Y'all know what I'm talking about. But look at the signs on these boats. They telling you what type of time they on before they even get there. You see what I'm saying? It's very, very interesting. And we have to be mindful. Everybody's coming over here to get what's over here. But I thought everything was, oh, gotcha. Say less, Fade. All right. It's so much stuff to get into. We got to do it slow, y'all. Hold on. I got so much stuff. I swear to God. Ooh, I knows what I was going to do. So many. I don't know what I was going to do. Oh, it's so many. I knows what I was going to do. All right, hold on. John Cabot. Let's get into him. Now, he's the person who set sail for Britain, right? John Cabot. That's his name. He's the person who sailed for Britain, for Great Britain. England became unified late in the 15th century. On Bosworth Field in 1485, Henry Tudor played an end to the civil strife of the Wars of the Roses and crowned himself Henry the Sixth. Yeah, the Sixth. Sorry, I'm not good at Roman numerals. Forcefully bringing recalcitrant, nobles to heel. He strengthened his authority. For this time in nearly a century, the country had stability in government and a considerable degree of peace and prosperity. Henry therefore could devote his attention to the promotion of commerce. He could encourage English merchants to enter foreign trade, supported the formation of trading companies, and restricted the activities of the foreign merchants in London and Bristol who had monopolized trade. Columbus even sent his brother to England when he failed to obtain support from the Portuguese and Spanish kings for his proposal that Cathay could be reached by sailing west across the Atlantic. Henry VI agreed to finance the voyage and urged Columbus to come at once to England, but before the latter left Spain, the Spanish monarchs experienced a change of heart and supported the voyage that was to give Spain an empire. Now, John Cabot is the English explorer. He was a conjectural portrait. His voyages in 1497 and 1498 laid the foundations of England's claim to North America from late 18th to early 19th century, painting by an unknown artist. So here's John Cabot. I pulled up another picture of him too. In May of 1497, remember, Columbus got lost in 1492. In 1497, Cabot left Bristol with a crew of 18 after a voyage of 52 days across the North Atlantic, landed on Cape Breton Island, and took possession of the land for Henry VI. From there, he returned to England and the praise of Henry VI, who granted him new letters patent. When Cabot sailed again in 1498, he had perhaps 5 or 6 ships whose crews totaled to some 300 men. The king personally financed a substantial portion of the expedition's costs. On his second voyage, Cabot probably explored the North American coast from the Newfoundland south of the Delaware and Chesapeake Bays. Okay, why is this important? So in 1497, Oh boy, stopped over here in Cape Breton. Is that like Jamaica in them? Let me go look. Y'all know I'm about to go look. Where Cape Breton at? Who in here from Jamaica? Because don't they have huge British influence over in around now? Because they say that's where he stopped. Yeah, that would it sound like. That would it sound like to me, Don. Where's Cape Breton? Let me just ask Google, child. Nova Scotia, Canada. Oh, Canada. Island in Nova Scotia, Canada. Gotcha. Okay, so my boy right here, thank you, Zaria. You said it right when I found it. He landed up in Canada and up in Delaware area, which makes sense. Makes all the sense in the world that he would land up there and then hit up Delaware too. Oh, hold on. We got a new member. Did I miss any more super chats? Thank you. Welcome. Thank you. I'm sorry. Welcome to the new membership. Thank you for becoming a member, Miss Toya. I appreciate it. Thank you for the super chat. The Don Columbus was a scammer. He wanted riches and fame. He went to France for the money first, but France said no, so he went to Spain for all 3 boats. Yep. And he was about to go to Great Britain, as we just read. He was about to go over there too, child. Anyways, thank you for the super chat, the Don. Let me see if I miss anything else. Thank you, Jen, for being a member for 1 month. She says, love you, Vu. I used to play all day in Mississippi Red Clay. Loved it. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank y'all for the love, y'all. Y'all don't have this to do. All right, you guys. So, like I said, John Cabot ends up in John Cabot ends up landing off to Canada and Delaware, right? And he took possession of that land for Henry VI. From there, he explored several islands in the Gulf of St. Lawrence, and in August, returned to England in the praise of Henry VI, who granted him new letter patents. It says, when Cabot sailed again in 1498, he had perhaps 5 or 6 ships where crews totaled to some 300 men. The king personally financed a substantial portion of the expedition's cost. On his second voyage, Cabot probably explored the North American coast from Newfoundland south of the Delaware and Chesapeake Bays, okay? So the second time he came back, he landed over there up there by Delaware and all that. Okay. Do I want to get into that? Let's not get into that because I got so much stuff to show y'all, and I don't want to make this too long. All right. Now I want to go into. Give me 1 second. I got so much stuff, girl. It's ridiculous. Oh, let's get into France right quick, and then I got a video I'm gonna show y'all. Let's get into France. We're gonna get into France and the Dutch. Let's go to the France, then the Dutch, and then we're gonna get to this video I want to show y'all. Now let's talk about France. What did France have to do with all of this? Where did they come from? Everybody got their sights set on America. Why and what is going on? The French first came to the New World as travelers seeking a route to the Pacific Ocean and wealth. Major French exploration of North America began under the rule of Francis I, King of France. In 1524, Francis sent Italian-born Giovanni de Verrazzano to explore the region between Florida and Newfoundland for a route to the Pacific Ocean. He would find parts of New York Harbor, and it says the French would take the narrow lands ports to the boroughs of Queens and Brooklyn. Oh, welcome to Bed-Stuy. Is that the same thing? Never mind. Because she said, welcome to Bed-Stuy. Then she said, Brooklyn, home of the greatest rappers. So I'm just asking. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. So Giovanni de Verrazzano to explore the region between Florida and the Newfoundland for a route to the Pacific Ocean. He would find parts of the New York Harbor, The French would take the narrow land ports of the boroughs of Queen and Brooklyn from upper and lower parts of the harbor until 1609, when the British and the Dutch came to take control of it from the French Verrazano. It says he would later give the names Francesca and Novo Gaul to the land between New Spain and English Newfoundland, thus promoting French interests. So it looks like Giovanni, crazy ass, he was down there and discovered and was over there, not discovered, but founded the boroughs and all of that and stuff and all that stuff. And the British and the Dutch came to take it from him, basically. Okay, we got somebody in here. You from New York? She says this is why it's called the Verrazano Narrows Bridge. I never heard of that, but that makes sense, don't it? That's a big one. They use us, the British and French, to fight their wars. Yup. They were basically starship between the tribes and get us to take out each other. That's what they were doing. All right, Arthur Embry. She said, yes, Bed-Stuy is an area in Brooklyn. Okay, there you go. There you go. Look at Deborah. Look at that. I know you was coming, Deborah. Brooklyn, home of the greatest rappers. Shout out to Kimberly Jones, that is. All right, and really quickly, in 1534, Francis of France sent Jacques Cartier on the first of 3 voyages to explore the coast of Newfoundland and St. Lawrence River. He founded New France by planting a cross on the shore of the Gaspé Peninsula. The French subsequently tried to establish several colonies throughout North America that failed due to the weather, disease, and conflict with other European powers. Cartier attempted to create the first permanent European settlement in North America at Cape Rouge, which is Quebec City, in 1541 with 400 settlers, but the settlement was abandoned the next year after bad weather and attacks from the Native Americans in the area. They mean the Indians. We were fighting back. I hope y'all are catching this. We were fighting back. They didn't just come. I know they tell us that they just came in and swooped us off our land and we were so dumb and gullible. We were fighting these mother effers back. They had to band together to beat us. We were fighting. So where was I? A small group of French troops were left on Paris Island, Paris Island, South Carolina, in 1562 to build Charles Fort, but left a year after when they were not resupplied by France. Fort Caroline, established in present-day Jacksonville, Florida, in 1564, lasted only a year before being destroyed by the Spanish from St. Augustine. An attempt to settle convicts on Sable land off Nova Scotia in 1598 failed after a short time. In 1599, a 16-person trading post was established in Tadoussac in present-day Quebec, which only 5 men survived the first winter. And in 1604, Pierre de Guademont, girl, you try it. Pierre du Guademont. Oh, I got it. Pierre du Guademont and Samuel de Champlain founded a short-lived French colony, the first in Acadia and St. Croix Island, presently part of the state of Maine, which was much plagued by illness and perhaps scurvy. The following year, the settlement was moved to Port Royal, located in present-day Nova Scotia. Let me say this. So hear me out. Spain, allegedly, according to this, came over here first with Christopher Columbus crazy ass. You know what I'm saying? He failed. Then Great Britain said, shit, let me get in on that. Great Britain pulled up and they was like, well, shoot, we can use this for trading routes and all that stuff. And plus they got this, that, and the third. France done pulled up because they said allegedly that they probably have some precious metals. All of the resources that they need were here. The Mississippi is the Nile. That's the river that's able to support all of the whole thing. Remember, they blew it up. They blew up the Mississippi to mess up the routes. But the Mississippi is the most fruitful body of water everywhere and anywhere. Now, I'm going to get into one more group of people. That's the Dutch. Because while all of this is happening, the Dutch is up there in New York, tearing shit up and fucking people up too. Fuck the Dutch. And I see it. Let's go get the Dutch. And then I'm going to get into this video because this is getting lengthy. About New Netherlands. New Netherlands was established in 1614 as the first Dutch colony in North America and spanned parts of what is now New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Connecticut, and Delaware. Who from up there? They still got Dutch people up there? 5 years earlier, Henry Hudson had sailed in the service of the Dutch East India Company into the mouth of the Hudson Bay in search of fabled Northwest Passage to the Orient. The rivers Hudson explored did not lead to westward waters, but he traded with the Native Americans. That's the Indians. But he traded with the Indians for furs and claimed the area for the Dutch Republic. In 1621, the States General of Dutch Republic granted a monopoly of fur trade to the newly formed West India Company within the Dutch claim along the Hudson River. The first colonists arrived, am I right there? No, in 1621, the States General of the Dutch Republic granted a monopoly on fur trade to the newly formed West India Company within the Dutch claim along the Hudson River. So think about it. It's cold up there. Y'all from New York, y'all know it. They had furs. Shit, them Indians was like, shit, let's trade. You need food? Give me some of them furs. We need these coats. Okay, boom. The first colonists arrived in 1624 in support of a small trading post at Fort Orange and present-day Albany on the upper Hudson River, or the Dutch name Noord-Rivier. Though most of the trade continued in this upriver area, a year later, a second stronghold, Fort Amsterdam, was established on the southern tip of Manhattan Island to receive incoming ships and protect the entrance to the river. New Amsterdam became the seat of the New Netherlands government. In the 50 years that followed, Dutch colony drew immigrants from all over Europe. Ain't that where the Statue of Liberty at? In the 50 years followed, the Dutch colony drew immigrants from all over Europe as it developed socially and politically and economically, offering a strategic point for trade. The colony was taken by the English in 1664, but not without leaving a lasting imprint. It roots that already had been established throughout the language, diversity, culture, foods, places, and names, and business practices that are still evident in New York City today as a multicultural center for trade. The many New Netherlands documents left behind on both sides of the Atlantic attest to the vibrant legacy of this early American Dutch settlement. Okay, here they go. There they go. Oh, and from what I heard too, with the Dutch and the Indians, basically they was trading with them until they didn't want to trade no more, and then they was getting them to fight each other, and then after they got them to fight each other and damn near tear each other down, basically the Dutch ended up popping them upside the head and then, getting them up out of there too. Lola said the Dutch did a better job colonizing. No, we gonna go over a video about the Dutch. I'm just trying to give y'all a brief overview. One day we're gonna go over a video regarding the Dutch. And when I tell you, when you hear this video, girl, you're gonna be so mad, because I know I was heated when I seen this. I was like, man, what? Girl, how Kaya said, don't trust no nigga though. No, don't trust none of these niggas. Even the ones that's foreigners, child. All right. I want to show you guys this video, and we're going to end here, and then we're going to come back another time to finish the rest of this. If y'all want to come back next week and finish some of this and talk about some more of this, because yeah, it's a lot. Where this damn video at? Here you go. All right. Let me get to the timestamp. Now, remember last week we spoke about genealogy, right? Y'all remember that? So we spoke about genealogy last week, And we spoke about the tests, right? The Indians, not the Indians, the genealogy test that people are taking to see where they come from. Now, here is going to speak more into the deceitfulness of all of this. Mind you, let me say this. First of all, this is shout out to UBTV. That's whose video I'm using. I want to play a small portion of this video because you're going to see here how history is alive and how the ancestry tests have been put in place. You see what I'm saying? To put all the dots together that shouldn't be connected. For instance, they said we from West Africa, yet we got a back to Ghana movement. But then they put the slave museum in Ghana and say that's where we was being held at. But then, mind you, then we take these DNA tests, they send us back to West Africa. We think we come from Africa, and the whole time it's a whole step and fetch. It's a whole I made you look type of tease. So in this portion of UBTV, that's whose video I'm using, UBTV, he's going to talk about how these genetic testings are something that further divide us from who and what we are, okay? And it's to keep us confused, okay? Now, y'all take a look at this. Hold on.
And a slew of other DNA charlatans, your grandparents lied to you and everybody about who they were and about who you are. According to them, your grandparents are liars. And their DNA test proves that. So what's the real reason Native American ancestry doesn't show up on any DNA tests? Just as with anything else, money, power, control. Fact, Native American tribes are discouraged from sharing their DNA with any research company, and nearly all tribes have declined participation in such studies. Imagine millions more people claiming indigenous heritage, and think about the amount of money, land, and resources the federal government would have to commit to those people on their behalf. But at its root, the true reason for this DNA propaganda is to push the false historical narrative of all Black Americans being from Africa for the purposes of countering our will to claim what is rightfully ours.
And let me say this too. Spain and Portugal, everybody was fighting for land. This new world, they will come in a mass. This new world will be their new land. They can make this is what I keep telling you. The resources, if you want to be rich, you want to have money, generate, that comes in the land. The land is the resources. They know that. We don't know that because they put commercial bullshit in front of our face so often that we think that having the money is better. That's the worst thing you could do. Because first of all, that value only lasts as far as the economy wants it to be. Right now, y'all remember 3 years ago, 5 years ago, the value of $1 has increasingly decreased. Yes, Aria, we Americans being lied to like this. But they want to keep us confused through religion, through politics, through all of this separatist shit, so that we don't keep our mind and focused on what's really going on. They came over here and took all this shit. They raped, they pillaged, and they killed. Period. They took all of this. And told us we from Africa, and generations later, we solely believe that, and a lot of us defend that. And it's the furthest thing from the truth. Because they coming over to take your lands, and they did already. We just so slow to see it.
One thing that you will often hear is that Native Americans aren't Black. They're red with straight hair. When someone makes a statement like this, inevitably it's just because they've been totally brainwashed with a fraudulent historical perspective. Yes, long before Europeans touched the Americas, the Mongoloid Asian people crossed the Bering Strait through Alaska and started to settle here in the Americas centuries prior. But it wasn't like no one was here. The indigenous people of the Americas were and have always been black. The image that has been promoted is that of a Euro-Mongoloid hybrid and is in no way a factual representation of a true Aboriginal American. However, for centuries, both of these populations coexisted. But how did this come to be? Surely, if Native Americans were black, there would be some sort of evidence. And since most people have never seen a black Indian, they just assume they never existed. Let's dig through the pages of history to identify the deception of our past.
For the last realm of the meaning of sex. And also
Hernando de Soto was one of the first colonial explorers to travel into the interior of the Americas.
Mind you, all those other people never made it inside. They always made it on the coast. Columbus ain't even make it to the coast. That nigga was way down there in Brazil and all of that. Hernando de Soto was the first one to make it inside of America.
Christopher Columbus never explored deeply into intercontinental lands, only in the Caribbean, the coast of Central America, and a few areas on the coast of South America. De Soto was far more influential in westward expansion and the treachery of the conquistador. Here's a quote from the narratives of the career of Hernando de Soto. The expeditions of De Soto and Coronado were the most elaborate efforts made by the Spaniards to explore the interior of North America, and in some respects, they have never been surpassed in the later history of the country. Between them, they nearly span the continent from Georgia to the Gulf of California. Of the two, that of De Soto excited the most interest at the time, and this distinction it still retains. It was the first extensive exploration of at least 6 of our southern states, and their written history opens with the narratives which tell its story. These same narratives contain the earliest descriptions which we possess of the life and manners of the Southern Indians so famous in literature and history. The Choctaws, the Cherokees, the Creeks, and the Seminoles. These narratives also record the discovery of the Mississippi River and the story of the first voyage upon it by Europeans. As a young man, Hernando de Soto made his first voyage to the Americas before the age of 20. This was seen as quite the accomplishment. On his second trip, he teamed up with a unit of other Spaniards and ransacked Nicaragua. Later on that same voyage, De Soto was an instrumental player in overthrowing the Incan Empire. After executing women, children, chiefs, princes, and kings, the Spanish overthrew Cuzco, the capital of the Incan Empire. Having ransacked Peru for its riches, De Soto returned to Spain to present his spoils to the Spanish crown. He is well received and accepted into the Order of Santiago. De Soto was now officially a member of the Spanish crown under Queen Isabella and the House of Castile, the very same house that Christopher Columbus sailed under just years earlier.
So my question is this. If Christopher Columbus was asking to set sail around there, and if they was like, nah, we ain't fucking with it. Then when he went to ask other people, all right, we'll do it. They financed him to set sail, and he never quite made it when you think about it. Christopher Columbus never made it. He made it on some of the coast of some of it, not even in North America. Hernando de Soto comes behind him about 5-6 years later, younger than him, do a way better job than him. Why does history favor Christopher Columbus and not Hernando de Soto? And I don't want to hear because he was the first one, because that's cap too. He was never the first one. You would have to ask yourself, why would they favor Christopher Columbus over Hernando de Soto when he's the one who actually got in and started putting in work? If I'm thinking like the French, I mean, not the French, the Spanish, the Spaniards. Hell, De Soto the one put in the work. But you know what? Guess what? They do value De Soto. Guess who valued De Soto? Guess who valued De Soto? The American government. See, they gave us Christopher Columbus Day to celebrate, but on the low, they valued De Soto. Mind you, De Soto is the man who came in and started literally killing people, taking over the Incan Empire. He was coming in, wiping people out. Wiping people out. And that's who they favor.
During this time in New World discovery, Rome was aggressively sending fleets to the New World. And under Papal Bull Dum Diversus 1452, the Pope decreed that all non-Christians will be subjugated to perpetual slavery.
Dum Diversus. The Pope signed Dum Diversus in and saying, hey, yo, look, go over there. Anybody who everybody got to be Christian, period, point blank. Any of these motherfuckers don't want to be Christian, cut their water short. That's Pope Nicholas IV. That's what he around there talking about. He wrote Dum Diversus. It says 1452/1454 CE. He wrote Dum Diversus, which granted to the King of Spain and Portugal the right to reduce Saracens or Muslims and pagans and any other unbelievers to perpetual slavery. So if you don't be a Christian, your ass gonna be a slave.
Then in 1493, Pope Alexander, Caesar Borgia's father, signed Inter Caetera, which...
So white Jesus daddy. Oh yeah. White Jesus daddy signed in Inter Caetera. Let me get his name again, because I always forget his name. White Jesus daddy coming in and with his 1-2 yin yang 2.
Slavery. Then in 1493, Pope Alexander, Caesar.
Pope Alexander. That's white Jesus daddy. That's the one that your grandmama and your mama and your great-great-grand, all them that been praying to. His daddy. His daddy. You know, he was butt buddies with Leonardo da Vinci. White Jesus daddy was the one who signed in the second one. Check it.
Borgia's father signed Inter Caetera, which extended that infinite slavery under God to all lands west and south of the Cape Verde Islands.
Now, really quickly, let me ask you this. Yeah, Leonardo da Vinci, the artist. Yes, Leonardo da Vinci, the artist. Him and Caesar Borgia were in love with each other. They were gay as two left shoes. Now, Caesar Borgia, which is white Jesus, the depiction of white Jesus, his daddy signed something in that says that anything west of this land have to be slaves if they don't go into if they don't convert to Christianity. Now, why is that important? Why? Or I ain't gonna say why. Here's the coincidence. Y'all know, here we go, coincidence. The coincidence is it just so happened that the man who instituted slavery, unless you become a Christian, of all Western land, look at the map. All it is, if you don't become a Christian, your ass gonna be a slave, right? What picture they use for Jesus? The man who signed this, his son. The man who signed in that if you don't become a Christian, you will be a slave. They then use his son's photo and fooled Black Americans, Black people all over the world for real, but specifically Black Americans, to make them believe that he was Jesus Christ, the Savior of the Lord. If you really peel back the layers, then technically with Pope Alexander, which is white Jesus' daddy, he kind of told y'all the truth, because I'm pretty sure he believed he was a savior. Talking about our God. I'm talking about Pope Alexander, and he used his son as the depiction of who to serve and who to doggone praise and worship. Child. If I could show this to my grandma, she still wouldn't believe it.
The Pope also gave exclusive rights to the families of Portugal and Spain, Ferdinand and the House of Aragon, and of course, Queen Isabella and the House of Castile. On his final trip, De Soto was given permission to colonize Spanish Florida and the southeastern United States.
Now he gave permission to the top two people who was coming around the world trying to take over the whole world. Jesus Christ daddy gave the permission to Portugal and Spain to go ahead on and conquer all of that over there. How he gonna get that permission? I don't know. Wow. Y'all feel duped yet?
The southeastern part of the country had the highest concentration of indigenous Native Americans. Mm-hmm. That fact still holds true to this day. As the Spanish arrived, the natives let off smoke signals up and down the coast to warn of the Spanish fleet. When De Soto landed in Florida, he brought with him over 600 men, over 200 horses, and hundreds of pigs. A little known fact about the conquistadors: they brought attack dogs, mostly mastiffs and hounds, who were fed a steady diet of human flesh and trained to kill. Most villages were small with less than a dozen homes. De Soto and his men would roll 300 deep up on these villages. De Soto would read a statement to these natives as he arrived. You and all your lands now belong to the Crown of Spain. Submit and accept Jesus as Lord, and you will be spared. And should you refuse, with the aid of God, we will enter your land against you with force and we will make war with you in every place and by every means we can and are able. We will put you, your wives, and children into slavery. We will take your property, and we will do you all the harm and evil we can. And that's exactly what they did. De Soto was well schooled in the sport of slaying Indians.
Before we move on, so De Soto pulls up in Florida on some small villages. On those small villages, he bought horses, 600 men, and flesh-eating dogs. Flesh-eating dogs. And pulled up and told them people, you got to be Christian or your ass is dead. Your ass is grass. An attempt to, and not attempt, but then goes into unaliving all these people. The guy that's doing the commentary is UBTV. His link is posted at the top of the chat. UB Unicorn Bravo Tango Victor, I guess. TV. UBTV. This brother is so deep with his research and thorough, it's ridiculous. But again, they don't teach us about this in our history. You got to go find this. So De Soto came in and really did damage. Flesh-eating dogs. Flesh-eating dogs. Ridiculous. Hey, Miss Sandra Lee. Hello from Yusuf Channel. Hey, boo.
De Soto and the Spaniard savages pillaged from the coast of Tampa Bay through Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Memphis. A picture of De Soto hangs in the White House, heralding him as a hero and as the man who discovered the Mississippi River. According to the official academic narrative, these people must have never existed. Until present day, thousands of mounds are still found all over the Mississippi Basin and the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains, including the Cahokia Mounds in Cairo, Illinois, which at one point in time was a city bigger than London and Rome.
Before we move on, do y'all find it funny? Do you guys find it funny that they gave us Christopher Columbus in America, but down in the White House, they celebrate De Soto? They celebrate De Soto privately and give us Christopher Columbus. And you know, you just seen some of what De Soto did when he came in, and they revere this man. Them people in that government know who you are. You don't know who you are, and they thrive off of your ignorance. They don't ever have a plan to help you or do anything for you. Their plan at all times is to keep you subjugated. To be honest, they wish you weren't here. There are no ignorant questions on Educational Friday. Don't worry about it. Hey, Shai, she says, Voodoo, this may come off as an ignorant question. I was wondering, do you believe in wanting to know, do you be in the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit? Just a question for clarification. Do I be wanting to know who is the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit? I know it's not what I was taught, or how I know it's not how it was supposed to be taught. I believe in a creator. I believe in a higher power. I believe there's a most high God. I don't really fall with the Jesus narrative. I don't. I'm not a Jesus. I don't do the Jesus people. I'm not a Jesus girl. Holy Spirit, that's to me lower on the totem pole than the Jesus narrative, but that's just me personally. But I understand that even if you've been listening to this live, if you understand where that concept and that ideal come from, which are the people who basically sent it over here, it makes me push further and further away from it versus go closer to it. I'm not religious at all, but I have a close relationship with God, with the Most High God, and then that's it. That's about as far as I go with all of that. For me, that's as far as I go with all of that. That's my answer. There's a Most High God. There's a creator. And I understand that the sun is the actual sun, S-U-N, is an entity that is needed, that is of higher power as well. But as far as like all of that, Father, Son, Holy Ghost, and I don't do all of that. So, and look, Miss Parker said, tell her they are the same person. That differs on who you are, because some people don't believe in the Trinity. Some people do. Some people don't believe in the Trinity. Some people do. I know it. I'm telling you, growing up in my grandma's church, they believed they were all one. But when we became Jehovah's Witness, they believed in the Trinity. No, it's three different people. There was an actual Father, there was a Son, and then there was the Holy Spirit. And that's where I'm at with it, B-Dub. If they taught history wrong, why would they teach religion properly? But I'm just interested in what we were doing before. I don't care about none of that. If I can get back to whatever it was we were doing before, I'm fine. But until then, I'm going to just keep praying to the Most High, and I'm going to leave it at that, child. I can't go no further than that.
Contrary to historical perspective, the Spaniards faced a tremendous adversary in the Indians from the southeast. An earlier Spanish expedition was subdued when the Indians from the southeast captured a ship and beheaded everyone on board, except for one man who would later become De Soto's interpreter. Whenever De Soto approached a new village, he ordered everyone to be killed. And for the people who didn't fight back, they were taken as slaves. And some were forced by the threat of torture and death to take arms against their own people.
Damn dog. Oh, got one more piece, y'all.
In nearly every case, De Soto and his men outnumbered the natives 3-1, sometimes as much as 10-1. His army numbered nearly 1,000 men, half of which were captive slaves being used as frontline ragdoll pawns during the battles that broke out between the Spanish Romans and the Indians. When a battle ensued, it was reported that many Indians from the fighting tribes were as young as 4 years old, and these children would even take their own life in lieu of being captured by a cruel Spaniard. Women and children fought bravely until they were eventually cut down and either retreated or taken as slaves. The Spaniards had steel, which the natives did not. They also had a fleet of mounted knights on horseback to come rescue any Spaniard who got in trouble. And let's not forget about the cannibal attack dogs. But of all this, these would not be the Europeans' most effective weapon. Their most effective weapon was disease. The colonizers brought smallpox and a myriad of other diseases, which eventually would kill almost half of the native population. It was no secret, just as in the voyages of Christopher Columbus, the Spaniards were extremely motivated to find gold. Whenever De Soto ransacked a village, he would aggressively interrogate any surviving captive as to the whereabouts of possible gold.
But like I say, Africa got all the gold, right? Shy, don't apologize. You good, my love. Don't apologize, Shy. But Africa got all the gold, right? De Soto was coming through this bitch, ransacking, coming through like a bulldozer, coming for gold. Did you know that you were sitting on a gold mine? I didn't. Did you know that you were sitting on a gold mine and they trying to get you to go to Ghana? They trying to get you to go to Ghana and you're sitting on gold. Now, I'm telling you, it answers the question I've been asking myself all these years. If Africa is this, that, and the third, and if Israel is the Holy Land, why is they here, Ike? It makes sense because all of the stuff they said was in those other places is really here. Mounds, pyramids. You ever wonder why you can't go to Area 51? You ever wonder why if you ever went to the Grand Canyon, in certain places you can't go for certain places is blocked off? Why do you think that is? You sitting on this land. Oh yeah, not only underground twin towers, let's talk network. Underground twin towers, underground cities, tunnels. What we talking about? Them people came over here. Listen, religion was the way they was pushing themselves over here. They came over here to take over this bitch because they knew that it was some shit going on over here. And they said, fuck all that. I'd rather risk the whoop, the whoop, the whoop. Y'all, hey, send a couple of them to Africa. I don't care. Send a few of them down to Israel. We don't give a damn. But why is Spain, Portugal, Britain, France, Dutch, everybody fighting to come over here? You get it? You sitting on a gold mine. This is the gold mine. And when I see niggas running back to Africa and are yelling at people who are learning who they are, saying you just ashamed to be African, or here you go with that pretending shit, it irks me. Because it's people like that that's gonna be the lacking of the cause. It ain't gonna be because of the other people. It's gonna be because of us. It's gonna be because of us. I remember going to Puerto Rico. There's a pyramid in Puerto Rico. I remember going to see it. There's one in Mexico. You think, come on now. They got pyramids in America right now. Memphis, St. Louis, all of them were very rich cities. All on that West Coast, all that shit, man. Stop. Them people know who we are and they know what we got. We don't know. And they keep us distracted with the bull. There go them crosses.
Always will remain the countless stories of this Spaniard's savagery. His men killed hundreds of thousands of black natives from Florida to Georgia to North Carolina to Tennessee to Mississippi. All while enslaving any survivors. These men not just in North America, but in South America before, responsible for the plague that wiped out half the population. On later expeditions, it was noted that the once thriving Mississippi Basin, lined with mounds, people, and civilization, had been decimated, and where there had been hundreds of villages, remained just a few. Every legitimate account of the Native Americans prior to 1700 depicted a dark to copper-skinned race of people who dominated the landscape. But after 1800, every single image of an indigenous American changed.
To that
But
motherfucker
why
right
is
there.
that? When we look at the Spanish depictions of the natives, much is left to the imagination, and it's beyond obvious that these portrayals were completely fabricated in order to characterize the natives as subhuman barbarians. The fake Jew news of Spain often showed the natives as bald, white savages. In 1524, over a decade before De Soto pillaged Florida, Italian explorer Gianni de Verrazzano
We talked about him.
said this: "The complexion of these people is black, not much different from that of the Ethiopians. Their hair is black and thick and not very long, tied behind the back of the head like a small tail. As for the physique of these men, they are well proportioned, of medium height, a little taller than we are. They have broad chests, strong arms, and the legs and other parts of the body are well composed. There is nothing else, except that they tend to be broad in the face, and they have big black eyes, and an attentive and open look. They have a sharp cunning, and are agile and swift runners."
What y'all thinking? Where y'all at with it? Henry de Soto pillaged through all of Southeast America. Celebrated by the president, hung up in the White House. We don't know it. They gave us Christopher Columbus to throw us off the trail. Whole time, all of the government, they revere Henry de Soto because he came in. They say he the one really founded America, but don't worry about what they told us for Christopher Columbus. Then on top of that, they came for gold by way of using religion, flesh-eating dogs, like Giovanni de Verrazzo, we spoke about him. He came for France. He sailed for France. And he described the people as dark-skinned, no different from the Ethiopian. And he said they got short hair, a little ponytail, and they tall with broad chests, and they agile. That means ain't we the fastest in the world now? The Ethiopians run the longest, but we the fastest of all time, period. It be between us and Jamaica. Jamaica, if you're on here, don't we be going back and forth in the Olympics with winning? It be 1 year is us, 1 year is Jamaica. What? Because that's who we are. But they described us one way back then, and then around the 1800s, and even if you Google right now, and you put in Native Indian or Indigenous American, you gonna get the clear people who on here saying that they Indians whole time they getting kicked out of their tribes. Make it make sense. We gonna put a pin in that. If y'all want to talk about this next week, I got way more to show y'all, way more to do. Way more information, so we could. If not, we can move on to something else and then come back another week. We don't have to do it week by week. I just wanted to kind of get the beginning of what I didn't know and try to give it to you guys as well, because again, they don't teach this in school. None of this you learn in school, none of it. So with that being said, it's 3 hours. I didn't want it to be 3 hours, but it was so I had so much, and then we started Joe Singer. It was just a lot. It was just a lot. It was too much. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. About Christopher Columbus being black. Brian, I don't know if you was on here. She said they say Christopher Columbus is black European. I was driving when you were okay. You heard me. Yeah. That's a fact. Voiceover by Stephanie Marie said the Bible was tampered and usurped. I'm sorry. Plagiarized, and the biblical scriptures had mostly Middle Eastern names, no African names. Yeah. Hold on. Thank you, Mignon, for the super chat. If teachers taught us history the way that you do in your commentary, I swear I would have paid more attention. LOL. Thank you for your knowledge, boo. Oh, thank you, Mignon. I didn't want it to be super boring because I understand how it can be for others. I like history, so I can sit there and read and listen. But I know everybody not like that. So I try to make it a little bit more relatable when I speak about it. All right, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to put my mic is off. Oh, Devin, can y'all hear me? The mic was turned that way. I'm sorry, y'all. So what we're going to do is put a pin in this right now. If we want to do next week, we can. If not, because listen, we haven't even scratched the surface. I hope y'all know that, right? We haven't even scratched the surface. So this shit goes deep. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I'm gonna get off of here. We had 3 hours. I appreciate every single one of y'all for being here. I'm gonna go ahead and joke y'all out. Shout out to everybody who sent the super chat, all the people in the chat. If you haven't already liked the video, all my subscribers, if you're new to the channel, welcome. We do this every Friday. It's called Educational Friday. I'm so happy that any of y'all showed up, because only one of y'all would have showed up. I still would have gave the same show, because I'm just excited, like I said, to get all of this information and share it with you. We are learning together. I promise you. Some of this stuff I done already heard about. Then when it comes to Educational Friday, I got to go do the research. So we are learning all together. If I make a mistake, if I misquote something or please charge it to the game and not my heart. I'm trying. I'm just trying to open up people's eyes and get people to understand what happened and how it affects us today. I swear to God. But anyway, I appreciate y'all. Let me joke y'all up out of here. And I'm going to get off of here, child. I love y'all. Thank y'all for being here. I love my Educational Friday crew. I'll see y'all later. Bye. See y'all tomorrow sometime or something. See y'all tomorrow.
Mic check. 1 2 1 2. We live, baby. Come on. That's right. Okay. Can you hear me now? Oh, let's go. It's your boy Big Chew, the voice of the beat.
You know what I want?
Blaze up.
Come on, blaze up.
It's a beat for me.
Wow, 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 wow. For your guy, for your B-O-Y. Drop it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Do it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Come on, baby, we live. For your boy. For your boy. Also for your boy. Fix it for your boy. Drop it for your lift it up. Then it bust it open, lift it up. Yeah, come on, lift it up. Then it bust it open for your B-O-Y. Then it, for your rockin' for your lift it up, baby. Mix it with your bossa now.
Come on, blaze. So you know.
Drop me a nasty beat.
Mr. Carroll, how you give the voodoo doll time to talk? I don't get no fucking time to talk.
Who the voodoo doll is?
The nigga you just had up here.